Um, yeah, I don't know what it is, so I'm just gonna play it. This is how much I trust you.
Well, yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing bad.
I
It's
know
nothing
it's nothing
terrible.
bad. You're not gonna do anything like shitty to me or anything. So
Oh, oh, here's all the words you're not supposed to say on broadcast television.
here's our George Carlin episode. Hi, chat room. This is how much I trust you.
Hello,
I'm
ladies
gonna
and
echo.
gentlemen.
But
Hang
yeah,
on.
it's nothing. It's nothing
Oh,
bad.
I know
nothing
it's nothing
terrible.
bad. You're not. There we go. I fixed that. I fixed it.
I fixed it.
I fixed
Hello,
it.
ladies
That
and
was me
gentlemen.
being dumb because I didn't mute it. That was me dumb. So Marconin has a little bit of a video problem, more like a bandwidth problem. So that's why we see his lovely visage with a hat on today. No video.
Yes.
We'll get it next week. He's at home right now, so we have a little bit of
My
internet
hair looks
trial.
wonderful.
It's just beautiful.
Yes.
Tauren Think Tank. No, not .com. Oh my god. I'm going to screw everything up today. You can just watch. I'm going to make everything stupid today. It's so funny. So how are
Is anyone in
you?
the chat room? I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Is anybody in the chat room saying anything?
No. They're all quiet.
Okay, just making sure that it wasn't me glitching out or anything.
No, it's just people
Cool.
not saying anything. So they're just, because they're all paying attention to Warlords, so I'm assuming they're just going to be like, oh, we're here, guys. Hi. Hi.
So how's
There's
how's
Maslu. What's
how's
that?
Gorgron treating you? How's the
Oh.
how start talking to the stream. Just talking to everybody. So how's your garrison treating you
How's
guys?
your garrison? Okay, that's
You're
gonna
doing all
be-
right?
That's gonna be something else to talk about too, man. Is like just the first impressions of crazy, so awesome.
I love being in my garrison. Just yet last night when everybody was like, "You don't go to your garrison. Do not fly to your garrison.
And you're like,
you will
F
lag
that
out."
noise.
I was like, "Oh man." And so I ended up. I just finished out Shadow Moon Valley instead, and saw the cut scene, and I was like, "Oh man,
I just finished it. Like it just before the
man.
show finished it, and I was finished Shadow Moon Valley, and I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. And then it was like, all right, I gotta go get ready for the show. Gotta go get my water and get my systems booted up and stuff. But oh man, so good. So
yeah." I need to tweet Terry and Gregory thanking him for that.
yeah.
Oh
Definitely. Oh.
goodness.
So unfortunately, we can't see Marcon's sweet little kitty cat who's like hugging all over him right now, which is darn cute. Yeah, adorable. And my Garrus is over here flipped upside down right now. All four paws are in the air right now over with him, and he's on his back. He's just passed out. He's a happy boy now that mom's home.
Yeah, he's relaxed.
Oh, he is. This cat needs to learn how to relax more, I think. He gets like this, and then he turns into like hyper terror in the middle of the night. Somewhere about like 4 or 5 in the morning, he decides that it's time to just go and become a terror. So he just destroys everything, and
Just runs around.
he chews plastic too. So like for BlizzCon, I wound up getting a couple of new outfits for BlizzCon, and I had them shipped. From clothing stores, and they sometimes ship them in those plastic envelopes. Like the those that stuff. This is like crack to this cat. So I come home and I had to return one of the things, and there were teeth marks all along the bottom of the envelope, and I'm like, well, I can just tape them up because I had to return that.
Sorry, returning due to cat.
Yes, sorry. I hope the cat didn't chew the garment. So, yeah, they get so stressed when we're not here, though. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous.
Yeah, Pixie's been staying by my side the last couple days since I've finally been back.
Yeah.
It's like her and Reese will not leave me alone. Either one or both of them have to be in the room at all times, or they'll just start meowing.
Well, they missed you. You've been gone for a month.
Yeah. They don't see me most of the year.
Hey,
sweetie.
Aww.
And from what my boss said, that I may, it's like right after the first of the year, I may be going to Boston, New York, a lot of other places that they're throwing around.
It could be anywhere, really.
Yeah, it really could be anywhere. I won't know until I'm on the plane heading there, really.
Jeez.
Yeah. The first time I met Gemmett was back in 2012, and I didn't know about that trip to go to Virginia until a day and a half before I got on the plane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, by the way, you're going to Virginia next week." Oh, really? Okay. Or actually, it's like you're going. It's like Wednesday, and you're like, "You're on the flight Friday." Oh, okay.
Okay. I guess I know what I'm doing for the next couple of weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
That is some job you have. I tell you, just being able
Yeah.
to pick up and, do they send you anywhere like West Coast?
Sometimes I almost got to go to California last year
Yeah.
for 4 weeks, but the boss that was over us at the time, she's based out of New Orleans. She's like, I'm taking my crew because I want to go to California, not you. And so they shipped us to Mississippi and a couple other places.
Uh-oh.
Where we'd be working in California is right outside of Compton.
There we go. You caught up.
Okay. Sorry about that. But
It's just outside of Compton.
Yeah.
Outside
Straight out
Compton.
of Straight out of Compton, gonna try to work at Best Buy, but I get shot at or other something. I don't know. It was bad. Like they purposefully got them really old rental cars so that they wouldn't get carjacked or anything in a brand new.
Jeez. Yeah, aren't you glad you didn't
thing.
go?
Yeah, I kind of am, because I ended up having a really good time last year, so I didn't really mind that.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'd love to go to the West Coast more. I'd like to go work in Seattle. I've never been there. Never been to Portland. I've only been to Anaheim for California. So any other place would be cool. Arizona would be cool. I just anywhere, because that geographically that's very foreign to me, because I live in the Delta where there's rivers, there's fields, there's trees, there's buildings. But there's not like desert. We don't. Oh, I hit my mic. There's no desert.
Bang.
There's nothing like that. Yeah, it's like I'm animating my arms like people can see me,
I know.
but they can't.
Well, you got to do it. You got to do it, even though they can't see you. You got to act for it. So I'm acting for the camera.
Woo! Yeah, that's kind of one thing that I did during the Tristram's Got Talent, is I made sure to use my arms to help bring the point across with feeling.
With feeling. Look at all these people showing up in here.
Oh my goodness. Hello, Nate. Enjoy
you,
listening to my
guys.
voice while you finish leveling to 100.
Look at all these people showing up, even though they're leveling. That's awesome. And we know tonight's going to be light for the live show. That's okay. You guys will probably be listening to the show on the download, and that's cool too. So.
Hello, Spanx. How are you?
Spanx and Panda.
Hello, folks. Hello, bienvenue.
So I've got a
midnight.
little bit of a cold right now, and it's not too bad at the moment, but I am sniffly. So there'll be a couple of moments where I'm probably like, but Masley was not leveling. But you're with your wife. You're on vacation. That's okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hello, party people. Hello,
Party people in the
2020.
house. 2014, yeah.
2020.
Sorry, I had to go Spanish for a second. I thought about when the stream goes up and you're like, "Hi, McCunnan, how are you?" Like, I have a bad case of con crud. It's really bad, but I don't know. I can't talk right now.
Spanx is asking if we attempted. Marconin, we had that moment with MacGyver in the beginning. He was teaching me how to speak in an Australian accent, which was funny as hell. I was making everybody laugh because it's so bad, and so.
Well, and the main takeaway I got from that, he's like, you gotta think more Hugh Jackman, less Steve Irwin, and it's like, yeah, that's true, because Hugh Jackman he's Aussie, and Steve Irwin's kind of like the Australian version of like a really, really deep South redneck kind of, because his accent is that deep, and that distilled. It's not like the general accent,
And the best thing, so Spanx and Panda taught me the one thing that is definitely Aussie, and everything has to end with a question. Everything has to be ended. It's because I'm going to start the show, so it always has to start with a question. And so that's the way it has to work. But we were sitting there with MacGyver at lunch that day. He's like he's saying "hey" It's not hair, it's hair. And so,
Yeah.
and I kept saying it and repeating things after him, and it was like, okay, so did I do that right? And he's like, oh, that was good. That was good. It's like, and I was so bad.
That's how.
Bad.
That's how I'm gonna be able to like really. I want to spend like 2 or 3 weeks in Australia and really dig in, because I had a Shanka tell me like on Monday, he's like, so after hanging out with you and Kate all weekend, I've got a Southern accent. I was like, well, you're welcome, because like, you know, my Southern accent isn't very pronounced unless I'm around Kate, because his is really thick.
He has a strong one. Yeah,
he does have a very strong accent, and it's charming. I had a lot of people were like, "Oh, I love your accent. I love your accent." To him, it's like it's definitely something you don't hear every day in Anaheim.
No,
not at all.
You know, if people are calling this the con crud, I don't think this is the con crud, because I was doing just fine. My voice was horrible for like 4 days, but I was okay, and I just started sneezing yesterday. So I don't understand.
That's how it was for me. Yeah, I started sneezing yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, please don't get sick. Please don't get sick." And I was sniffling and sneezing all day. I was like, "Oh, come on, no, 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 no." But no, I'm feeling better today. I think it's because I finally got some concrete sleep. Because right after I got off the plane from Anaheim, I had to go home, grab a couple work shirts, drive an hour to pick up coworkers, and then drive 5 hours into Texas. And then I worked 2 overnights and then drove back. So it was just, ugh.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, they're telling us it could take up to a week. Well, I was taking my rest. True. I was trying to rest it up. Stupid. So, but this is not severe at all. I mean, for the most part, I've just been tired and sneezing a lot. And so I came home from work yesterday, and I said to Kane, I was like, do you mind if we have dinner a little bit later? Because I've been sneezing my full head off all day, and I just want to sleep. So that's what we did. I just went and took a nap for a while. And I woke up. He woke me up when the pizza got here, and I was like, okay, I feel good. I'm good.
Ooh, I had pizza yesterday, too.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It hit the spot. Oh, and Buttress, I was in deep East Texas for the month. I was over in Tyler.
Oh.
And did a little bit in Longview, but I was in Tyler most of the month. So I was... And working at the Best Buy there, and then also working at the Walmart. I went in there. I didn't work at the Walmart. I was just in the Walmart. It was, yeah.
That sounds like an experience.
Yeah. Oh, and they had the grocery store Brookshire's there. They would do like, how most grocery stores, they'll have like a hot deli where you can get like chicken or pasta or whatever. They would do, yeah. They have a hot deli. Oh, is it chicken day? So, sir, to me, looking at you, you look like a breast man.
Oh!
Or are you a thigh man? Or do you like a little bit of both? Are you just all legs? I just give you a little bit of each, and you just tell me what you like.
This deli is hot.
Yeah, those deli's so hot. Oh, my gosh. I just want the mashed
warm right now.
And mashed potatoes, too, please. I need the mashed potatoes. Oh yeah. But anyway, so they have a breakfast thing like that too, with eggs, bacon, toast, everything. And it was, if we didn't get out of work in time to go to the hotel for breakfast, I'd definitely go there and grab it, because it was cheap and it was really, really good.
That sounds awesome.
In fact, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. I haven't eaten since lunch.
Oh, Ryston, kitten on. Oh, there's a. I'm so proud of you for bringing Kitten in from the cold. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, now my heart is warm.
Kitties.
Save
Where'd
life.
you go, Pixie? I was like, I need to cuddle my cat.
Cuddle kitties. Yep, my little buddy is sitting next to me.
She's sitting on top of the WoW Mega Blocks thing I got from the from the round table raffle, and she's just staring.
It was awesome that you won that.
Yeah, I haven't built it yet, but I will when I get some space.
Very cool.
Hey, sweetie, she saw me talking about me.
Yeah, you can't see Mark Conan's kitty because just to let you guys know who came in, his internet's a little wonky tonight, so it was easier to take down the video. So that way we can at least have the audio. So next week we'll have better internet connection because we're going to do some splicing. But so we're just about to get started. Do you have anything else before I have a super secret intro from Marcona that I don't even know what it is.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. This could be fun.
It's an idea I had for a while, and it's very pertinent for this week.
Okay.
Kind of. It's something I've been wanting to do for a couple of months, but just the time got away. And then I realized Thursday, I was like, oh, crap, I got to get this done for this week. So I actually spliced it together this afternoon.
Woo! Okay,
So
it's hot off the presses. It's not
Uh-huh.
hot deli off the presses. It's just hot.
It's just hot. It's still cooling on your computer. It's got steaming.
Damn.
It's steaming.
Damn. All right. Let's get
Episode 123, Hot Deli.
Hot deli. And it's all from the pre-show. I might have to cut that in.
This is why you need to come early.
I know.
This
is why you have to come and hear all the stuff we make up before the show starts. See, I could do the New York accent because I listen to my grandma. So
you got that on lock.
Well,
That's
I
pretty
grew up
good.
with it.
Well, I know.
I mean, I grew up with it. It's when I'm thinking, hello, darling, how are you? That's my grandma.
So nice to see you again, Jules. How are you?
I said to you, I know. I mean, really, I told you.
So I says to her, I says,
My grandmother, she is the awesomest. She's my only living grandparent
Woo!
at this point. And as everything starts with, as I said, even though she never said it. So she's a riot. She's been doing this forever. And so every time she goes, oh, hi, honey. I'm calling to find out how you are. As I said, I heard your heart was having some trouble. Are you okay? And Nate just dung 100. I done dung 100. Ah, crap. Come on, internet. Come on, internet. That's not funny. Come on back, Mark Honan. We all need you to be back here. I blew him away with the New York accent and he went poof. So we'll get it back. One sec. I dung 90. I dung 100. Congrats on your dung. No. That sucks. Let's wait till he comes back and then we can roll the show. And there's my text message. Oh, the cat jumped on the power button of his desktop. Oops. So we just lost. He lost the entire thing. So I guess I'll amuse you guys for a little bit. Whoops. Yes, 20. You could definitely tweet me that you dung 90. 90. 100. 100. So we have to name. Yeah, that's what I said, Rayanne. I said you have better internet. This was not his internet though. This was actually his. You're gonna see the corner of my video for the moment. Let me kill this here for a second. He has this wasn't his internet. Unfortunately, this was cat related. So we get more pre-show, and you just get me for the moment. I've got Garrus laying here next to me, and he's got his paws up in the air, back on his back. He's just darn cute. Just laying there because mom's home. Yeah, no kidding, Erlina. I dung 90. It sounds better when you say 90. I dung 90. No, I dung 100. I dung 100. There you go. You could do it that way. But how was BlizzCon? BlizzCon. Well, you guys heard about the last show. BlizzCon was amazing. I had so much fun just seeing and meeting people and meeting new people, people who I hadn't met before. People are here tonight, which is awesome. But it was almost overwhelming. On the trip home, the flight home, which we had to get up at like 6 a.m. to leave, and our flight didn't leave until 10 something, but we had to go from Anaheim to LAX. It was a long day, but we wound up flying home and basically taking the entire day to fly home on Sunday. And I wound up just kind of reflecting on everything, and it was just like, oh my gosh, there was a lot of stuff that happened. It was really busy, and a lot of people, a whole heck of a lot of people. So very, very fun. I got to meet some awesome folks, and Catacodex is here. I got to meet her too. All these awesome people. I know, and we're going to talk about missing people at BlizzCon too. That's going to be part of our discussion tonight. And I think there's actually a Tell Us One Thing question that's related to it. So if we don't get to it there, it will come back. I just love the fact that we have something like BlizzCon, even though it is expensive for people. It's a long time to travel, especially for some that are in there. If you guys are just popping in, Marconan's cat just killed his internet, and so we're just waiting for him to come back. And I'm killing time with you. But I'm really grateful that we have something like BlizzCon to go to. And if there was ever a time where BlizzCon didn't happen, there would be something planned. With last year, or actually this year, we were already talking in CTR that we were going to do like a Vegas thing if we didn't have BlizzCon. So, because there's just no way we could not see each other at least once a year and hang out and do that. So, I couldn't imagine what it would be like with everybody in Vegas, though. I can't imagine what that would be like. Because that might just be really, really, really crazy. I don't know. It was kind of crazy in the Hilton Bar for those of us who were there. So, the Hilton Bar, man, that is a place of memories. There's a lot of stories that came out of that place. Yeah, I know. Nate, if you said doing there, I would try. I mean, this is what happens with me. I want to do all the things, and I get 2 weeks of vacation a year. That's it. So I can't. I was trying to see my family at least once a year. And then try to get out. So I go out to see them in New Jersey, and then to go to Nerdtacular, which is usually in July, and then BlizzCon. That's pretty much my 2 weeks of vacation right there. So it sucks, but let's see if we got Marconin back. Let's see if I can add him. Let's try this and see if it works. I'm gonna text him and say, "Are you back yet?"
Hello.
Hi, you're back.
Hello. Sorry.
I just had to rip to the chat room for the last 5 minutes, so I hope that was worth it.
Yeah.
Damn it, Pixie.
I know. She jumped from because I have my tower on the dresser next to my desk, and so she jumped from my desk to the top of the tower. I was like, "Oh, that's cool. She could jump a good bit," and then all of a sudden the screen went black. I was like, "What's going on? What? No, the computer died." Oh, and then I looked over and she's just staring at me like, "Ah, Pixie, why?" And she wasn't too happy to get booted out of the room, but
yeah, well,
I was like, "That's it. That's it.
You're done.
You're done. That's it." Later.
All right, are we good?
Okay,
are you all set?
I just need to get my show notes back up.
Okay.
There we go. I keep accidentally turning on the stream. There we go.
The good news is that the internet sounds quite good at the moment. So that's
good. Nothing like turning off the computer to really refresh everything.
Do a little bit of a member jump there.
Yeah.
So I made up a new term. I now that I went right as your internet or your system went down. I said congratulations on dunging 100 instead of digging. You dung 100.
I dung 100.
So now, if you see people tweeting at me to say, "Yo, Jules, I dung 100," and then say 100, dung 100, then
dung
that's
100.
why.
That's good. I like that.
I dung 100.
I dung 100. Dung 100.
I dung 100.
Dung 100. Okay.
All right.
I think I'm good now.
All right. I'm gonna count it down.
Get us
and then
ready
I will play
to go.
the super special intro that Marconin has put in there.
Super secret.
Because I don't even know what it is. I swear. I've never even heard it.
Time for the Hot Deli sing-along.
All right. Counting it down in 3, 2, 1.
saw an orc with a Draenor menu in his hand, walking through the roads of Shadow Moon Valley in the rain. He was looking for a little place called Embari Village, gonna get a big dish of Talbot lo mein. There's Warlords of Draenor. There's kill all Warlords of Draenor. Kill all. If you hear him running around your garrison door, you better not let him in. A little old bloodlove got mutilated late last night. The Warlords of Draenor again. Gul'dan, Warlords of Draenor. Gul'dan. Kargan, Warlords of Draenor. Kargan. He's a brown-skinned buffoon who raided Alkindun. Lately he's been overheard in Ashran. He never plays by the rules. He'll rip your head off, Jules. I'd like to meet his blacksmith. Durotan, Warlords of Draenor. Durotan. Black Hand, Warlords of Draenor. Black Hand. Well, I saw Gromash Hellscream walking with his crew, doing the Warlords of Draenor. I saw Gromash Hellscream Jr. walking with his crew, doing the Warlords of Draenor. I saw a warlord drinking Black Rock coffee in Shattrath City, and his transmog was perfect. Gromash, Warlords of Draenor. Gromash. Yeah. Warlords of Draenor, baby. Gonna take it to him.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
Welcome to episode 123 of Tauren Think Tank. My name is Jules. Today is Saturday, November 15th, 2014, and that intro is by the amazing... I don't even know what I can call you that is beyond amazing that it would be more amazing. Mark Honan.
Evening, Jules. Thank you.
Oh my God, dude. You did that in 2 takes?
Yes, the first take was about 95%. Like I surprised myself that I could actually get it through in 1 take.
Oh my God.
But there were a couple of things I wanted to fix, so I did a second take and kind of spliced the 2 together.
Oh my gosh. Now I did not hear this intro. He handed this to me 20 minutes before we started, before we got on live with the live stream. And I said, I'm not going to listen to it. I'm just going to be surprised. And I'm so glad I did. That is awesome.
Well, I've had the idea for a couple of months now. And so I was like, well, I really need to do this. Week after week after week. And then finally, on Tuesday, I'm like, Warlords comes out in 2 days. I need to get this done.
I don't know. This might actually tie into our question of the night, too. Your scenario of I've got to do this. I've got to do this.
Oh, yeah,
We might have to come back to that. So
I'm glad you like it, though.
I loved it. I loved it. I want to play it 15 times, but then we would never get anything done. Well, we are home. It is Saturday night again, and we are here at our homes. And Marconin is actually in his home. On the live stream, we don't have his video up because we have a little bit of an internet bandwidth issue. So he's got good internet when we don't have the video up. So we said, okay, well, we'll just see him with his smiling face wearing a nice fedora.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it's nice to be home, isn't it? You didn't get home for a while, though.
No, I didn't. Even I was traveling, and then I got done traveling, and I drove into the house, packed for BlizzCon over the course of an hour and a half, and then I left to get on the plane.
Oh,
and then after I got off the plane from Anaheim, I got back, spent about 20 minutes at the house just grabbing like work shirts, and then I had to drive back down to Texas for a couple of days. And I just got back, what is today? Saturday? Yesterday morning. No, Thursday afternoon. Thursday evening, I finally got it. Yeah, because I had to do all the traveling again, then some car trouble, fixed it. Then I finally got home at like 7 p.m. on Thursday, and I was like exhausted.
Wow.
And then I tried to play WoW, and that took a while.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I'm glad for you that you were like me, who lost her voice for about 4 days after BlizzCon. You didn't have that problem, which was awesome, because I was just rasping. I'd be at work and they would be like, oh, you don't sound good. I'm like, well, I feel fine. It's just that I don't have a voice. And you guys, they heard it on the intro that I recorded on Monday when we got back. It was really raspy. And it took me until Friday, and then yesterday I started sneezing. So I'm fighting something off for sure. But other than that, I think I've pretty much, escaped the nasty stuff, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, you made it past the con without getting really, really bad sick.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm quite glad for that, because I had too much to do. I mean, I got back to work, and one of my coworkers was in Florida traveling because she's a sales manager, and the other one, unfortunately, her mom is very elderly, and she is now in hospice, and so she was pretty much off for the entire week. So I was by myself for the entire week, and I'm just like, I've been gone for a week, and I don't know what's going on, and so I was just like, But
that's how I felt.
Oh, it's crazy. You come back and you're just like, ooh. So. But we obviously had something to look forward to coming to Warlords release, which was interesting. So
that's the word. That's the word.
I don't know if we should talk about it now or if we should talk about it with our discussion topic. I mean, obviously the discussion topic will kind of branch into it. But there's one thing I want to say out there. I don't think this applies to any of our audience, but maybe it does. What I'm really, I obviously am amongst all of the people who have been frustrated and disappointed that the launch has not been up to our expectations. But I've been really just frustrated with how some folks have chosen to express that, and the mentality that it is something that should have been anticipated and should have been fixed. And I was just like, my brain, of course, does this thing where I go, well, what if it was me? And so I just started, thinking, so what if this were me or you or anybody who's listening, and you worked on something that you were really super passionate about with a large group of people who are also really super passionate about things that you were doing for over 2 years plus, and that you can't wait to put it out there because you really, really, really excited about it, and you can't, thinking that this is something that's going to be awesome. And it goes out, and it's just a mess because of things that you didn't anticipate and things that are outside your control and things you should have seen. I mean, I know I would be devastated that it would be something that I was super passionate about, every single person that we've talked to at Blizzard in terms of at BlizzCon or if you watch the documentary, which I know you did too, Marconin, those people are passionate as hell about this stuff.
Very much so.
I
would argue more than we are. Like, even the most diehard raider, still can sometimes can't even hold a candle to the passion behind some of those developers.
Yeah, and so it is very, very hard for me to understand how people can be so cruel about the, and I know that it's disappointing. I know that it's something that people were just dying to do and anticipating, and the disappointment is real. But to accuse Blizzard of not caring or being a bunch of idiots, or, you know, and I mean, those people are right now staying up all hours of the night to make sure that it's now working, which is working much better as of today. But it's still not enough for some folks, and that's really disappointing for me. And so, you know, the only thing I have to say about it is that, I mean, I can't imagine ever thinking in life that people were just that horrible, of people that they, you know, people who create want you to know what they're doing. They want you to be a part of what they're doing, and they're passionate about it. And if they throw all their passion through it and then it doesn't go as planned, it's devastating. It's really soul crushing. So you don't need people to tell you that it sucks. You know it sucks more than probably they do.
It's like in college whenever I would do an improv jazz solo and I would botch it. I mean, and just me knowing what I wanted it to sound like, and to mess up, and I, you know, just knowing it's out there and everyone out there heard it, just it's, you know, near crushing the way it feels like if you royally screw up in music.
Yeah.
And then of course for, you know, the normal, you know, some people be like, oh, it sounded good, or they didn't notice it, but I noticed it, and other music people notice it, and if they come up to me afterwards, be like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah,
I know.
Like, oh my god,
I know. I'm sorry. I can't be perfect all the time, you know. And it's just like you said, especially for people that are creative, they want their creation out there. They want it to be there and be enjoyed by everyone who experiences that, and to have it, you know, not go off to have it go off badly is just, like you said, it's really crushing for them, and it's just very disappointing. And they're their own worst critics.
Yes.
They really are. As much trash as I've seen on Twitter over the last few days, and in general chat in Shadow Moon Valley when I can get in, they, you know, it rivals what they can feel sometimes about themselves if they're just like, oh, we should have thought of this. You know, hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
So they know that you know, they can see now what they should have fixed or done that, and that's a learning experience. So if people just calm down, look, I know you bought the game, you pre-ordered, you asked off for work, you feel entitled to play all the time. Shit happens.
It does.
It happens. Believe me, it happens. Believe me, it happens.
I mean, Mark Honan dealt with some really awful stuff trying to get into the game yesterday, and you know, had every right to like rage all over everything he could have because of what happened to him to try to get in, and you know, waiting, and everybody. It's like, I mean, after a while, you know, I'd log in after waiting 3 hours to get in. I got in, and every person who comes into guild chat was like, "Oh my god, I waited 3 hours to get in," and we're all just like, "I know." But what's happening is that people are venting their frustrations off on other people because it's really annoying, and it's the way that you vent out your stuff, your energy, is to make yourself feel better, is to get it off of your chest. But what happens is that, if you know, and what you didn't do, Mark Honan, is you didn't blast it all over the interwebs. You just talked about, like, oh man, that's really sucky. But you didn't blast people for that bad stuff.
And especially not personally. I didn't personally call, because I mean, I had the little picture of the dude flipping his computer desk because I felt really upset, but not in any person. Like, well, the DDoS people, I'm mad at them, but they're faceless, nameless, don't know where they're at. So I can't like point my finger at them and say you suck. But I'm sure as hell not gonna blame anybody at Blizzard, not directly, because it happens. They're putting out this product and it happens. There are botched releases. I remember Diablo 3. There were issues with Diablo 3 when it came out, and it's fine now. I mean, I understand it's opening weekend. Just go do something for a little bit. I understand. Believe me, I waited 8 hours almost to get in Friday night, and then my computer died, and then all this other stuff. So I just went to bed.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the only thing I can do is just go to sleep.
Exactly. But, you know, just remember, if you're out there having these problems, everybody else is with you with it. If you vent about it, all you're doing is spreading that negative energy across all of these other people who are already frustrated. And that energy is just going to land on more frustrated people and cause more frustration. So at some point, it's like people are like, I'm just going to shut off guild chat, just drive me crazy. And I'm like, I understand why people are frustrated. I understand why they have to release that pressure valve. But unfortunately, that constant release of that pressure valve on Twitter and in guild chat and all those things is just causing more people to be pissed off. So
Yeah.
it's like, guys, it's a ripple effect, and everybody's energy has a ripple effect. I just wish that there was a way to ripple effect that positive energy back. So, if you think about those times where you're about to go onto Twitter and go, my life freaking sucks. I'm so tired of being sick all the time. I'm so tired of my job. Blah, 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 blah. All you're doing is just blowing off that negative energy. And most of the time, people are just like, oh, yeah, cool. But if you're all dealing with the same thing at the same time, it's going to get absorbed and it's going to continue to grow. So
yeah, it just bounces off everybody, and then just it enhances their displeasure, and it just bounces back. You know what? I'm guilty of complaining to a couple of people on my real ID yesterday, midnight. Sorry for that. And she was just like, I know, trust me, I know it sucks. And I was like, I know, but
I know. And we all have to get that frustration out. It's unhealthy not to. But it's how you vent it. And Catacodex in our chat room said the best thing to do is send encouraging tweets to the Blizzard folks to cause encouragement, which is way better. I mean, I was frustrated last night. I waited 3 hours to get on. I really wanted to play because there was Kane sitting next to me. He'd been home all day, and he got into the queue when the servers came up, and he just stayed there. So I'm just like, 3 hours. Oh my God.
Log out.
I don't log out, right? And so but after it was over, instead of being like rah rah rah, I just I said that content that I did experience was 100% worth the wait, and I meant every word of it.
Absolutely.
So
and in the wait, I got a lot of things done. I actually did a couple missions on StarCraft, which I still haven't finished the first one. Yep. I unlocked all of the class challenge cards for the next Rammus adventure thing on Hearthstone. Got a few ranks up. I was pretty productive waiting in the queue. So, that's something you could do while you wait. Go play the other fine Blizzard games that are all working. No, there was nothing wrong with Hearthstone.
No, so there wasn't. There was a lot of people
I stayed in there.
Well, I wanted to switch topics for just a quick moment for kind of put something in there that's kind of funny. So I put this out on Twitter this week and got some really funny responses. And we've talked about, and please note that this is just because it is very funny, and I appreciate the person taking the time to leave a review. But this is a 5-star review that we got on iTunes, and I literally read this 3 times and said, I do not understand what this is, and so I'm going to say, what? And send this out on Twitter, and the responses were golden. So here is what this very nice person wrote for a 5-star review on iTunes, and I'm going to read this verbatim. Nicely done for off topics not related to WoW. An northern and southern version of America. There's a gentleman and an a-hole. My guild, we have wonderful ladies. They are great, and they are mean, and I love them all. They help me a lot.
I don't know if this is English as a second language thing.
I'm not sure.
Or if it's somebody had scattered thoughts when they wrote it. They had like 5 different things going on in their head. But
you must be the gentleman, so I must be the a-hole, which is really something else.
Well, I wasn't going to say it.
I mean, I don't have the male parts, so apparently I'm not the gentleman.
Yeah, if it was gentlewoman, hey, now I'm going to say something.
But I think that people were about to turn "My Guild, We Have Wonderful Ladies" onto a T-shirt, and I think that
I would wear it.
Tank, my guild,
we have wonderful ladies.
I thought this was awesome, but I don't really know what they were trying to say. So
yeah.
But thank you for the 5-star review. It does help us.
Yes, thank you very, very much.
Sometimes you just need a good laugh. So, and again, we're not trying to poke fun at this person. We're really just trying to say, what the heck was that? Because I'm not sure what it meant. Anyway, so we're going to, I think, dig into our discussion topic, unless you have anything else you wanted to talk about from the week.
Not really. I mean, it all culminated in the last, 48 hours of the Warlords launch.
Yeah, no
and
kidding.
So I don't really have anything else to add as far as that goes. So let's get into some discussion.
I'm sure we'll have some more things to say about it as we go through some of this stuff anyway. So here we go.
Yeah.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
Poor gnome.
Every week. Every week.
Every week, that poor gnome. So our discussion topic of tonight, it's somewhat related to BlizzCon, but it kind of branches out into everything. At BlizzCon, Marcona and I had the opportunity to meet and spend time with many different people, as many of you also did too, who are listening to the show. So tonight's discussion is going to be about the impressions that we make of people. First impressions, snap judgments, meeting someone for the first time that you have met online in different contexts, and how often those impressions or snap judgments can be right and can be wrong. So this topic came to me because I was, when I was flying home on Sunday, we were flying home, and I was really, really reflective because it was the first time that my brain could actually slow down. I was so hyperactive. I couldn't sleep at night. I was so excited about everything. I finally digested everything, or just started to at least. And one of the things that I found so amazing is when you go to BlizzCon and how you've gotten this opportunity to be around so many people that are similar to you in that we all play the same video games. And that is so unique that it's so unrealistic to everything else that we do in our lives. Mm-hmm. And what I found, I guess the first thing that started with me is that there's that feeling that you get when you meet somebody that you just instantly click with. Whether it's that you've known them for a long time and you see them for the first time, or you've known them and you've met them a couple times, or you've just met them for the first time, and there's that warm, like, I just could sit and talk to you for hours feeling. You know what that is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I got that the first time I saw you.
Same here. Absolutely.
It was like this thing where it was just like this person instantly clicks with me, and I can feel their energy and that they match with my energy, and it's just this amazing feeling, and it's like a drug. You want to just be around people like that all the time. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking about, I was sitting next to Belschnickel, who one of the hosts of the Converted podcast, and I absolutely adore that guy. I just really, really like Belschnickel, and he and I couldn't be more different, but we just, I don't know, there's this thing that you feel when we're in each other's presence, and it's cool. I love that guy. And when TJ Spanks and Pandaria, first time I met them, they come around the corner and they see me and everyone goes, "Eee!" And we just started to scream. And it was this really cool feeling. And all the weekend, we just were so excited to see each other. It's that feeling. It's this addictive drug feeling where you're just like, I'm so comfortable around this person. I feel so good. And you don't get that so often in life when you're just kind of going out your daily life. And so BlizzCon kind of just amplifies it all. Did you have that moment with people that you've met this time around that you didn't know?
Well, I think the first one that really jumped out at me was meeting MacGyver. Mm-hmm. Is that because I saw him, but I didn't know who he was, and all of a sudden he's like, "Yeah, MacGyver!" Like, "Oh my god!" And just really, had this kind of, just electric, like, "Oh, dude, that's awesome! I know who you are!" And I sat next to him during our lunch when we first got there, and it was so wonderful getting to sit next to him and talk, and also. Evilani and Majordeath.
Yes.
So glad I hung out with them all weekend.
Amazing. And
They're
we
great.
met them before at the Minnesota meetup. And
you did? That's right.
People. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're wonderful.
Yep.
I'm so glad I got to meet them. And, oh, gosh, so many people. I just had a really good time. Kata Codex.
Yes.
Saw her. I met her there. And, of course, TJ Spanks and Pandaria are both there. But, yeah, I hung out with MacGyver a whole lot that weekend. Also, Ben and John. Just all these people just like, oh man, I wanted to, like you said, want to be around them. Be like, let's just all just stay. Why can't we? I don't have to go home.
I know.
I don't want to go home.
That is the hardest thing, And MacGyver was that amazing thing where he saw me, like he's like, where are you guys going for lunch? And he saw my Twitter, and then we were going out for lunch, and I said, well, let's meet in between the two hotels. He saw me in the middle and just screamed my name and came flying across the place, hugged me like I mean, it was just amazing, and he's just so full of joy and light, and it was like, oh my God, you're so fun. And there's so many people. I mean, for me, it's like Ben and John and Nevermore and Jocelyn Moffat from the Angry Chicken podcast. I've got all these people who are just like this. They click with your heart.
Yes.
You know, and that's where you feel so good. Fate 3000, I love that guy. I saw him, he saw me, and I was like, oh my God, it's Ian. Hi. You know, it just, that awesome feeling where you just love being around these people. And so that part is awesome. What I also found, which was interesting, is that there were people who I didn't meet before, who I met for the first time. And that's where you start to form what's that kind of first impression / snap judgment of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually very surprised. Again, you know, I'm always surprised by people. I will never not be surprised by the human spirit and by the human mentality. It's just because people are so complex, and they have the ability to do things, to show you things about them that you might think are real, or you think are about them, or you see something that you think you see, but it's really not there, good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that, like, I had this judgment. There was somebody who I'd met for the first time, and I thought that this person was just like, oh my gosh, totally not someone I would want to hang out with. You know, just not somebody I would be comfortable around. It was just like we were totally opposite, not in a good way. And we were actually put in a position where we were spending time together for a longer period of time because people kind of merged groups together, and then we were spending more time together. And what I realized about this person is that my judgment of them was completely wrong. I had thought that they were just pretty much like a selfish, like, you know, focused only on themselves. And it was not that at all. It was more about, this person was real extremist and did everything to the nth degree, but it was all for everybody's enjoyment. It was all for everybody to have a good time. And I am not an extremist, so I was just like, oh my gosh, you're like way out there. I can't connect to that. But then I realized that it came from this really place from the heart where it's like, I want everybody to have a good time. I want everybody to have fun, and I will do everything in my power, and I don't care what it is. I will put myself out there to the extreme to do that. And I was just like, that is cool. Like, I totally got you. And so I continually got surprised by people, both in good ways and in not so good ways. Which is sad. You know, it's just part of the thing. We have impressions that not always turn out to be reality.
Yeah.
So, what I found interesting, and I find this interesting about BlizzCon, is that there are people that you see on the Twitter streams that you have, or you're seeing them maybe if you're in there with the guild, and they have a certain way that they present themselves. And so you have this impression of them, and they turn out to be exactly the opposite of what you have thought of. People who were like you thought were totally extroverted, and you get them in person, they're super shy.
Yeah. Like
really painfully shy and nervous. And I'm like, well, you talk to me all the time on Twitter. What are you talking about? Why aren't you talking to me? Why are you nervous to talk to me? And so I find it very interesting in that respect. BlizzCon kind of puts it all into this one huge microcosm, and you're just like, oh my God, there's people everywhere, and there's impressions being made everywhere, and there's this, blah, blah, blah. It's so unrealistic to what happens in our normal lives, and we all long for it, and we all want, like you just said earlier, why can't we have BlizzCon all the time? It wouldn't be special.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be the norm.
It wouldn't be special, and wouldn't be amazing, and it wouldn't be this thing where you'd feel, you know, would you really feel as good about every single person that you connect with that strongly if they were always there all the time? Would that be something that would be as special as it is if you only see them once a year?
Yeah, probably not.
So, I'm not trying to be negative about it. I'm not trying to be, but I know that there have been people who have talked about going through some strong levels of withdrawal and some depression. after going to BlizzCon and being around that. Because we go to that and we get all of this amazing reinforcement from people. Everybody around you is awesome, that you love, and you spend time with people that you're amazing. You connect with at the heart level. And you're like, these people get me. They totally understand me. And then I go home and they don't know.
Yeah. That's I've been feeling down the last 3 or 4 days, and I didn't even think about it that way, but that's probably the reason why. That's probably one of the big reasons why.
Oh, of course it is.
Is that it's just because I had to get right out of work, go back to this job. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? And just to have the expansion out so soon, I was like, I just want to be back with my people.
Yeah, and
I just want to get back with people.
You want to be with my people, and that's the feeling. And that's why we have, we make these strong connections, and we make them fast at BlizzCon. You do, because you only get a certain amount of time.
That's all you get, yeah.
So you have to squeeze all of that stuff that you can, and you don't get enough time. And I just, 2020 Site and I talked for like a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there, and I never had a chance to really sit down with her and just talk to her. And I didn't get the chance to do that with hardly anybody. There were only very certain people that I could do that with. And you just wish that you could. You wish that you had that time. I felt like I barely saw you, even though I saw you bunches and bunches of times.
Yeah.
I barely saw you because we were running around talking to all of our friends.
That's what it was. I was like, man, I wish I could have spent more time with Jules and Kane, but I was getting pulled in different directions. You were getting pulled in different directions, and it's just that's the nature of it. And and whether or not, so it would be either one or the other. It would be you spend a bunch of time with some people that you really, really love, and then you feel badly that you didn't spend time with other people. Or you spend more time with a bunch of different people and feel like you don't have enough time to spend with any of them. And that's how I wound up feeling, was that I had the chance to meet. I got the chance to meet nearly everybody who I wanted to, which was awesome. But I didn't have a chance to connect with them on more than a surface level, hardly any. So, and that was, like the last day. So, Jocelyn, GIS Gamer on Twitter, she's one of the hosts of the Angry Chicken podcast, and we've known each other for several years, and we keep passing each other. Like, we'd see each other, and then we have to go, and then somebody else would, So I went to go see her to say goodbye to her at the AIE Guildhall on Saturday night because it was getting late and we had to get up early, and I was like, I just got to make sure I say goodbye to Jocelyn. And she came and she's, of course, screams, comes over and gives me a hug. And I said, I got to go make rounds to say goodbye to everybody. You'll be the last person that I come back to see because you're down in the bar. And she goes, okay. So I walk over to her after I've said goodbye to everybody else, pretty much. And she grabs me and we just start crying. Because she's like, I just realized I haven't had the chance to talk to you at all. And I've come so far and I didn't even get a chance to sit down with you. And it's like, I know. And that is the horrible feeling, is like you just want to see everybody and you just want to be able to have that time with everybody. And we don't have the time. We don't have the money. We don't have the travel time. It's just, that's part of the depression. Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why, you just don't feel like you get enough. But it would be better than walking away going, this is all too much. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
At least you want to go back and do it again.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready for next year already.
I know. And that is the best part, is that you can do that. Kranos is in the chat room. Evelani's in the chat room. These guys are, we met all of these people and they're amazing. And they're so nice. And there's that, when you have that connection at the heart level, I'm going to call it the heart level connection, where you just feel that warmth and excitement and happiness and comfort level when you're around them. They make you feel good and you make them feel good for being in your presence. That is so, so precious. And unfortunately, a lot of us just don't get to do that for a long period of time. So I understand why there's a level of depression and feeling down and feeling like the grind sucks. And, when are we going to be able to do this again? But I've been babbling on and on about this. So I want to hear what you think about making connections with people and some of the things that you've connected with them.
Well, I mean, like you said, we all have a common interest in the games. And so we get there, it's not always that we're similar people. We just have similar interests, or, we'll every once in a while you just connect with them on a deeper level than you would your day-to-day people. Like I remember, like Catacodex is a good example because whenever we started talking, I instantly knew it was a snap judgment of what kind of person she was, and she was awesome. Like had a lot of the same humor, a lot of the same interests, and so we got along really great, really fast. And it was like that for a lot of people. I know 2020, her and I have a great appreciation for music, and we both studied music for a while. So we have that connection going, and so it's like an instant, you get me. I get you, you get me. Let's just have a hug. Let's sit here and just smile. Like I smile so much at BlizzCon, and just it's so good.
Yeah, and my face hurt after the days were ending. My face hurt from smiling.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great thing. That's a great problem to have.
Yes, there's a lot worse things to have than that. So, and when you're saying about snap judgments, when I first met Prize from Alone,
yes,
and he, and I was going into things. I was like, oh, there's Prize, they're from a really elite guild, and of course, sometimes you get those snap judgments of elite guilds equals elite people.
Yes.
Where they're just like, oh, you don't even raid heroic or mythic now, and it's the exact opposite for Prize. He was such a nice guy, and it was wonderful getting to talk to him and just and laugh and just see him every once in a while and say hi. Now I follow him on Twitter, he follows me. I think we could have a cool time with just hanging out somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's. That's what I love about BlizzCon as well, is you meet the people that are like you, but different just enough to where you learn something.
Yes.
Or they can learn something from you, and it's a growing experience as well. And it was so wonderful, and especially meeting old friends again and just getting to really dig in and get a deeper connection with them in person. Because I've been waiting all year to see you again, Jules.
I know.
So when I came down in the lobby, I was like, there she is, and there's Arcane. Oh, these are my people. Oh, I missed you so much.
And that heartwarming feeling. It's just that heart connection is just amazing, and I just. I know I crave it. I mean, it's, and I think all of us do, and to some level, and that's why it becomes very hard when it's away.
Yes,
it's not the same on Twitter or on Skype, or it's just not quite the same.
Yeah, still, it's not bad, but it's not as good.
No. And so I understand why people are feeling down, why they're feeling depressed, because we were on such a high for several days in a row of just feeling that awesome giddy feeling. And then you go back to the reality of saying, I've got to work so that I can go to BlizzCon. My family doesn't live here, so therefore I must go back to where my family is. My responsibilities are, and my animals that are over there,
Yeah.
because those are things that are special in our lives too.
Yes.
My question for you is, do you think that it is something that is a little bit more potent for people who may not always feel like they fit in the world like we typically do?
Absolutely. I think that since, if you don't really belong, feel like you don't belong in the real world, and then you come to something like this, I like to describe BlizzCon as 4 to 5 days of Christmas morning all day, all night.
True.
And it feels like you're coming down the stairs or you're going into the living room, whatever it is, and there's your presents. And your presents are all these awesome people who just get you. And you have that all day, every day. And it's so energizing and everything. And I like to think I get along pretty well with everybody outside of the game, like in the real world, day to day. I get along pretty well, and it's but I think it would be a whole lot more potent, both at the beginning when they get there, and then on the back end when they go home.
Yes,
because I was walking around at work those 3 nights just checked out. I was just, why I don't want to do. It was so hard to just focus on anything at the job, because I was like, I just want to go back. I just want to leave. Go on.
Yeah.
But so I think you're right. I think it's a more potent, definitely more potent when you get there, and to have all this wonderful stuff you don't get during the rest of the year.
Yeah.
All of these, because it may be a situation where you don't have that many friends in real life, or you can't really see many, because I have a few guildies and friends that I still know that live around me that I can still see time to time. But and if you don't have that, and you do go to BlizzCon and see all this wonderful stuff and see all the people, and then you go home, you feel like it's ripped out of your chest.
Yeah.
And it's just a piece of you is missing, and I even feel that way. I feel like a piece of me is missing there in Anaheim.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to go back every year and get that piece back for a few days.
And then you just start the timer for the next time that you're able to go. And, you know, and I know that there are people listening who just don't have the opportunity to go to BlizzCon. And I feel badly that you don't, because I think that this is something where we as gamers, as people who may not always feel like we belong in certain circles, you know, in our world, even as we go around our normal lives and game, there's always distractions. You know, we've got to get up in the morning to go to work, or we have, you know, there's if we have children and there's something, or the family, or you got to go to the store. You know, BlizzCon, it takes away all of those responsibilities. You're just on vacation. So there's the heightened thing in there too. You have no responsibilities except to get your butt out of bed, try not to smell, and
please take a shower.
Please take a shower, and
and don't forget to eat something.
Yeah, eat something. Don't drink too much, and have a great time. I mean, God, that is paradise for people who are like us. So so there's no wonder why we feel so like when you have to go back to the normal grind. Yeah. And so I treasure every moment, and yet at the same time, I just wish that I had more. You know, I had more time. I mean, every year I'm like, man, we should just try to go earlier. But then people don't always make it there earlier. Everybody who has got to go, and, you know, has got to get back home. And it's like, oh, dude. So
yeah, I kind of want to go earlier next year too.
Yeah, I wish
get up
I
there
had
like
the
on
time.
Monday or Tuesday or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know, and it may just be, we might just make it into an entire week. Who the heck knows?
Yeah.
So, you know, when you talk about thinking about when you think about making judgments of people, even in our real lives, we would do things like that and make impressions. And so it's a matter of whether or not those impressions are something that are true, or something that you really just, when you connect with those people, is it just that true, like absolute connection, boom, and, you know, awesome. I hope that maybe it puts some perspective on how it works at BlizzCon, and when you go there next year, if you've been there before, or if it's your first time, something to look out for when you are starting to connect with people. You know, and I hope that everybody has the opportunity to meet somebody that they just kind of, you know, super connect to. I was thinking about our writer from a couple of weeks ago who was going to go to BlizzCon, and I don't think I've met him because he didn't tell me who he was. But I was thinking about him the other day because he said that he was thinking about going to the party, and he didn't introduce himself as the writer. So if we did meet you, I'm really hopeful that we did.
I hope so too.
Yeah. We met some really, really cool people at that party.
Yeah.
It was awesome. A little funny story, by the way. I don't know if I told you this story about the party. So Scott Johnson from The Instance and The Morning Stream and a whole bunch of other things from Frog Pants was very, very nice and came to the Smash Bash with his wife, Kim. I was very happy to see him. And so we chatted for a little bit. And, of course, when Scott comes into a room, there are always people who are going to surround him because he's very popular. And so there were some folks that were standing off to the side, and there was a man with looks like his son with him. And he's kind of standing off to the side a little bit towards the stage where Scott is standing. And I think that he is trying to work himself into the circle so that he can talk to Scott. And so I lean around the circle and I just said, "Hi, did you want to talk to Scott?" And he goes, "Oh, no, we were waiting to talk to you." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Well then.
I mean, talk about a moment where I'm just like, okay, that's something I did not expect. Being in the same room as someone like Scott Johnson and having someone not want to talk to him, but they wanted to talk to me. And so it was just pretty funny. And I told Scott about this the other day, and he was just like, "Oh my God, that's awesome." And he's such a nice guy.
Oh man, yeah.
And the man and his son who we met, and I do apologize, I just don't remember names because there were so many. They were amazing. We had gotten a great picture with them, you and I. And I just I was so lovely. I mean, it was just so nice to talk to people who were fans of the show. We got stopped everywhere we were, and people were like, "Oh my God, it's Jules, it's Marconin," and they were just so excited to see us. And I still, to this day, I'll never get used to that. So
Yeah. Well, I had a guy chase after me a little bit in the Hilton lobby. Sook is his name. He's in CTR, and he was like, "Dude." And we ended up talking for a half hour about just stuff in the game and everything, and he introduced me to his friends, and it was so nice. It was him, and I remember Zedeca. I remember running into him
was amazing
at the party. Yeah. Oh, it was so great meeting everybody, and that it's for me it was different than last year because I was meeting everybody last year.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh, it's all these people that I know and love listening to, and it's a little different now that I'm on the other end of the mic. But it's still wonderful. There's so many great people, and I'm just thankful to get to meet so many great people. Not even about being in front of the microphone, just knowing so many great people for being people.
Yes,
it's
and
just
that is the coolest thing ever, is to have those moments where you're just like, I know who you are because you're in my guild, and I met you because we play together. I met several couples that have met because of Convert to Raid. Just beyond. Oh, so awesome. I mean, I'm so excited to see that happen. A community that we helped build, that we put together and worked hard for. And now people are coming together and finding personal connections, romantic connections because of it is just beyond me. So I just heard about another one that I can't talk about, but I'm so excited for it. So I'm just totally dropping a spoiler, but I'm not. There was a BlizzCon. It was like it started at BlizzCon. And I just heard about it. So excited. Okay, I can't say anything more. But
I think we can blame Zug about it a little bit too. I see his name in here. We can blame him for the guild.
Oh, I blame him for everything. I blame Zug for everything. I miss him too. I miss him so much. Damn it! Come back to BlizzCon next year, buddy. All right. So we're going to move on and talk a little bit about some doghouse systems. How about that? Does that sound good?
Yes.
Bring that down just a little bit. So doghouse systems, we've talked about them. We had a chance. I don't know if you got a chance to meet Kim Price. Did you get to meet her? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Kim is our amazing contact at Doghouse Systems. She's also a fellow podcaster as well. A lovely person inside and out. And she told me about some Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals that are going on for an entire month for Doghouse Systems. I know. Some pretty amazing stuff. First of all, they just started, so you can get on this right now. If you go onto doghousesystems.com and you click on their holiday deals, they're offering free ground shipping in the United States. That's like $100 and something of savings right there.
Jeez.
Yeah. They're also offering a free upgrade to the Intel Smart Response SSD with 1 terabyte HDD and a free 16 gigabytes of RAM. And with your video card, you get to choose your path bundle. You can choose Assassin's Creed Unity, Far Cry 4, or The Crew for free. So you get a free game with the video card.
Wow. And those aren't old games either. Those are new titles.
No, this is good stuff, people. And so there's a lot of savings. It's coming up to about $150, $170 in savings, depending on the system that you spec in there. So check it out, doghousesystems.com. And it is their holiday deals that are going on right now. Mention in the comments, if you would, that Tauren Think Tank referred you. Our code won't work with the holiday deals, but you can still tell them that you heard about it from us, and we'll get credit. So that they'll be working out great. Again, doghousesystems.com. Check out their holiday deals going on now until, I think it's December 15th. Let's make sure. December 14th is the end date. So doghousesystems.com. Great. I mean, my friend Chalant, our tank for Cat on Fire, he just bought one. I know. Is he going to do it? It's awesome.
Yeah,
Doghouse Systems.
The guy I took to BlizzCon, Cade, he's eyeballing one. I think he was going to order one this week.
Oh, tell him about the deals.
Yes.
And we thank them again for the support of our show. Thank you guys for supporting our sponsor.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. And that was a really hard stop. Sorry about that. I did not run. Okay. We're just going to go into the think tank right now.
Torn between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
I blame the cold. Not only is it cold here, I blame whatever cold is in my nose. So there we go. All right, here is our think tank question of the night. Hi there, Jules and Marconin. Muzzy here. First off, I want to take the opportunity to give a huge thank you to Triple T. As you may or may not know, over the summer I took a chance and applied to Blizzard for a job in their IT department. I got called back for an interview and made it pretty far in the interview process, but ultimately was not the final choice for the position. While this was disappointing, it was a great experience for me, and I owe Triple T a huge thanks for helping me to push to take this chance. It's taken me a long time to get around to writing this email, which brings me to my question. I am a huge procrastinator. I have been since back in the 80s during grade school. Classes were wicked easy for me, and I'd wait till the day homework was due to do it, or not even bother to study for the quizzes. Fast forward 22 years later, throw in the responsibilities of family and a full-time job, and you'd think I'd wise up, but I still put things off. Either I find something else to do to finish that my brain deems equally important, or I just end up thinking it can wait. I've gotten rid of distractions at work like social media, I've made priority lists, and even taken some self-help classes on it, but I always eventually fall back into the same habits. That 21 days to form a habit myth just doesn't work on me. I know it's not a big deal as some of your topics, but any ideas or help from you would be greatly appreciated. I look forward to hearing your help, eventually, right after I finish this other podcast. Oh, Muzzy, I like you. You're funny. I've liked Muzzy for a long time. So, procrastination is the topic of the night for our think tank question. And when I talked to Marcona before the show, I said, "Yeah, did you read the think tank question?" He goes, "That's me."
Yes.
I do that.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
So I have some of these traits, but I tend to be pretty motivated. A lot of times I'll put things off, but I tend to be early on stuff. So I might not be the best person for this on all things. I'd love to hear your perspective on procrastination. What it is is there certain things that cause you to procrastinate, or is it just like overall?
Well, like he was saying in grade school, that was just like me. When I was, I still think I'm pretty bright. I'm kind of bright, but when I was little, I was a fast learner. I knew a lot of stuff. And so I would never do homework until it was right. I actually had a lot of trouble in grade school because I didn't do my homework because I didn't think I needed to because I already knew it. Like, why do I need to study this if I already know it? And I can tell you, here it is on the quiz. I made 100 on it.
Yeah.
Why do I need to do all this extra work if I know it? And so it was a struggle for me growing up. But I had to kind of, I'm actually thinking back to the last course in college. I had communications research, and I really killed myself with the topic that I picked because it was a semester-long research paper, and you had to do research on every topic that was included. And I did, I did something on the music listening habits, whether or not people who play MMORPGs listen to internet radio or what they listen to when they do their played MMOs, mostly WoW players, but also some from smaller games. Oh, sorry.
You're back. Yeah, it just lagged
all
a
right,
little bit.
sorry. Yeah. And so in the thing, I had to research not only the internet, but I also had to research radio, then internet radio. And then I had to research the history of video games, history of online games, history of social games. So I really killed myself with my paper. I think it was like almost 40 pages long.
Damn.
And there were points during that semester where I procrastinated, and then I didn't sleep for 3.5 days before I turned it in because I had to finish it out. And so even though I got a lot of my stuff done, I was trying to be diligent. It was still something really hard for me to get it done until I was looming there about to turn it in. And it was either you turn this in or you don't get your diploma in 2 weeks. That was a big motivator. So I finally, didn't sleep and just finished it out. So it's
wow. Okay. So I think I'm just going to be guiding this discussion topic because you and I couldn't be more different in this way. And so I was a good student in school and things became very easy for me. And came very easy for me for a long time. But when I got to college, I did have to learn how to study because I really didn't know how to study because I didn't need to.
That's
But
I was too.
yeah, so but the thing is that I am completely opposite of you. And whenever I have some kind of assignment or things that I am always done early.
Mm.
And so the concept of missing sleep for 3 days to finish something is so foreign to me because there is very, very little in life that would cause me to give up sleep. I'm sorry, but sleep is a big priority for me.
Oh, I love sleep. I love to sleep. I just don't give myself an opportunity to do it.
Okay, so let's talk about, since I can't even relate to this, why? How does this, so is it just because you don't feel like doing it, or is it that you're just like, I'll get it done eventually, it doesn't matter?
It's a combination of both. I mean, if something seemed easy enough, then I'm like, I can knock that out in no time at all. I don't need, and there's also distractions. It could be like, you just get distracted. It's something you don't want to do, so therefore you don't really put the time in to do it.
Sure.
So, if, in college, even though I was studying broadcasting, I was still in all the band stuff, and I still played in the music department all the time. So that was my priority: practicing the horn, going to rehearsals, getting all that stuff squared away. It was wherever my interest was, that's where my focus was. And if my interest wasn't in schoolwork, I didn't do the schoolwork. So it was like when I finally got into the radio classes, I was done early all the time.
Yeah.
My stuff was done that day. I stayed I stayed when the class was over and finished. I was like done because I wanted to.
Because it was
I had that
interesting
interest.
to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of, I think, where a lot of my problem is that if it didn't interest me, if I didn't really feel like doing it, I didn't want to do it. So therefore I didn't do it until it was absolutely necessary that I had to do it.
Okay. Now, I can relate to that. Things that I don't like to do, like, cleaning the house or getting the oil change in the car or, that kind of thing is I will just put it off because I don't really want to do it. And so it would be, but the assignment thing, it's when there's a deadline, when there's a hard and fast deadline, I will always be early to it because that's just the way I am. I'm always early to things. It's just, or try to be on time. I've actually had to force myself because you know why? It's because of my parents. My mom and my dad especially, is the kind of person who has always been stressed to the maximum about being on time for things. And so, of course, it got instilled in my sister and I to be, and we would be like, we got to go. And it would just be like this stress. And God forbid we were late for something because it would just be like this horrible thing, like the world had ended.
Yeah.
So to this day, it is still the same thing with my dad. And so I have that instilled in me very, very strongly to not be late for something. And that would be, to be appearing at something or have something done on time. I guess it was the way I was raised. Now, I will rebel against that when it's something that doesn't have a time frame. Like, you don't have to be there at a certain time, or it doesn't have to be turned in, or your boss won't, be upset because you didn't turn that in on time. So I'm okay that. So the pressure to me is under deadline. You are saying that it's the same thing, and you will put it off until the very, very last minute, and you will sacrifice everything else in order to do it because you've got to do it, and that's where we're completely opposite.
Yeah, like I work well under pressure. I think I don't use that as a reason to put it off. Not so much. I just think it's a good side effect of being a procrastinator and having to finish in the last minute, in the 11th hour, is that you get good at doing it so fast and getting it done. Like I know it wasn't through procrastination, but towards the end of working on episode 100 on that big intro.
Yeah.
That last week, it was because work changed and I had to work more than I had planned.
Yeah.
And a lot of re-records and everything. But that last week, I didn't do anything but work on that and finish, right under the deadline.
Yeah.
And I think that helps me. But I mean, I know it's not a good thing to be a procrastinator usually, but it makes for good audio.
Well, let me ask you this. So let's talk about the feeling that comes behind that pressure. When I know I'm going to be late for something, it is a physiological, like I deal with the physiological signs of stress. My temper gets short. I get very nervous and stressed, and the anxiety raises, and I'm just like hyper, and it's not good feelings to me. I do well under pressure, but I don't like to be under pressure. Do you feel like you like to be under pressure because it makes you better?
Well, in some, I don't really like it. Like when you're saying being late for things, I hate being late for things too. I like, especially if it's like work or something like that. I try and make sure that I'm there early, or try to be somewhere early or on time. As far as being at a place, to me, that's different than having like a project due or something. It's being physically there when you need to be. I like being there when I need to be. I don't like being late because, I'd rather be on time. And I get that same kind of physiological response. I get on edge. I'm like, oh, we gotta go. And I get angry. My temper flares, like you were saying. It's kind of the same thing. But I don't really like I like being put under pressure because I would much rather not be. But it's helped me do things in a very fast amount of time. So I don't know. I think I'm sacrificing my own stress or my own stress levels for the end product. So I don't know if it's really a healthy trait or not.
And I think we are talking about two separate things. When you're talking about being physically late to a place versus having to turn in something, I think those are two very different things. Because you have to prepare the work and present it to somebody with an assignment of some sort. When you're going to meet someone, it's just about being there on time so that you don't disappoint the person. There's similarities.
Yes.
But so I think when I talk about, I will make sure that it's done early all the time, as I'll show up early. But when it comes to the assignment thing, I think you have a bit of a difference. You're saying I'm always going to be there on time, and I'm going to get it done on time, but I'm going to wait until the very last minute to make sure it's done. And I will sacrifice my own sleep and eating in order to do it. Do you feel that pressure that you put on yourself does that make, do you get a rush from it?
Kind of, not intentionally, but you do kind of get really focused and in the zone when you have that deadline, and it's like it's do or die. You've got to get it done. Let's do it. It's you've got this like almost energizing pressure behind you. Yeah. It's not, you've got the negative pressure of it, but then there's also like almost a positive pressure of encouragement. Like, you can get this done. You will get this done. Now get it done. And it just really makes me focus and really just bound and determined to get it done.
And see, that is fascinating to me because okay, so this is like spinning into my brain here, so I'm gonna go with it. So I am the kind of person, so I go to the grocery store and we're getting low on soda or something like that, and I don't want to ever run out, because then there's this pressure that we got to make sure that we go get it. So I will always make sure that there's extra. And it's the same thing with time. What if I run out of time and I don't have enough time to finish it? So I'm going to make sure that there's extra time so that I get it done in case something goes wrong, in case the power goes out, in case my voice goes out, in case my computer dies. I think of all of these like the worst case scenario things.
Yeah, nightmare scenarios.
Yeah, and you go into it and be like, I'm just doing it. I'm just going to get it done, and be damned whatever else comes into play. Yeah. And whatever else could cause me to, I'll deal with that as it comes. And I am always completely planning ahead. And that's what I always do. So that's why I can't procrastinate an assignment, because I think about all the worst case disaster scenarios that could happen. And it scares me too much, and I can't do that. So I've got to get it done early, because I've had those cases where those disasters have happened and that extra time saved my bacon.
Yes, yeah.
So I will never forget this. I was writing one of I was a psychology major in college, big surprise. And so I was writing one of my research papers, and my computer died, and I lost a 50-page paper.
Oh man.
And I had those days I used to write everything out by hand, and then I would type it into the computer. So at least I had all my notes that I'd written out before I actually put it into the computer. But I mean, that panic, because those were the days where you're working off of floppy disks. There was no save. There's no auto save. It was like, it was like Word Perfect or something crazy. And I lost a 50-page paper. And that, in that respect, I mean, that's probably like a pivotal moment in my life that just turned me around. I'm like, I'm never going to procrastinate anything again, because look what happens. So But this is why I can't relate to this, because it's so opposite to what I am. So for Muzzy, I am actually, and the reason I asked you this too is I'm wondering if the procrastination makes you more potent, more motivated, or you get off on the pressure of it, and it's what makes you focus. And because I know I get so distracted by stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. I said this on Twitter the other day, actually today, about how Warlords is me and that dog Doug from Up, where I'm just like focusing on one thing, and I'm like, I know that it's just this, we just met, it's a crazy squirrel. Because there's just something in the side that just caught my attention, and I am literally just going like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? And so I wind up being so distracted, and I am like that all the time because there's so much input in my life. You know, like social media, phone, people talking to you. There's so much that goes on in your life, and so I'm a constant I laugh because when I do this podcast, it's one of the only times besides sleep where I'm actually completely focused on something all like the entire time. I'm not wanting to look at something else.
Oh yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm wondering for Muzzy if this is the pressure that you put on yourself is something to help you focus.
I think it definitely does help me focus, because that's, you just, like I said, you get that overwhelming pressure that this needs to get done, and so you're fully focused, and because kind of like how you said, you just feel like the dog from Up because you're not focused all the time. Yes. You're very you're rarely focused, but whenever you can just really focus in and really just dig into whatever you're working on, that's when the magic happens for me. That's when I can think of all these things, and I've got this pressure. My mind just kind of goes and dances in all these places. And some of the coolest audio things I've done have been under that pressure. And when I'm just working and I'm thinking, oh, something will spark in my head, and like, I can do this. So then I just throw everything into it as well as I go. And it's like it's almost like having like a action movie soundtrack behind you, and the dude's trying to hack into the server, and he's trying to do it before the car hits the wall, and oh no, people are going to die. That's the kind of feeling I get sometimes when I'm in the zone and working on stuff. But it's not always a good thing to be procrastinating on the whole, but for me, it works sometimes. Yeah. That's why on some things I do procrastinate, on some things I don't like to. Some things I like to be prepared for, like those Hearthstone cards that I got you guys. I worked on that for over 2 months. Right. Took me working just little bits and pieces. It's
right here. That's my cards, one of them. I have to find a place to put them. So obviously there's some differences in how we do things. I mean, I don't relate very strongly to procrastination unless it's something that I just don't want to do. And if it's something because if there are things that I want to do, at work. So there's a project that I always have to do, which is to process all the damn returns that we get and then package them to send them up to our Canadian office, which is an annoyance and a headache. And what ends up happening is that there's all these little boxes that pile up behind me, and it's a constant me opening 25, 30 of these little boxes and then having to unpackage them and repackage them, and I hate it. And I'll just put it off and put it off and put it off until I just don't have the time to put it off anymore. But I get it done well ahead of time because that's just what I do. But because I know I don't like it. And so I'm wondering also with Muzzy is that do you have something that is just totally like your thing? I mean, like when you sit down and you're just like, I could do this all day, or I focus on something specific and be like, yeah, this is really, I could do this all day, because then maybe it is literally just that I just don't like to do anything else, or I'll get around to it when I get around to it. And I don't think that's a bad thing as long as it's not causing you bad things in your life.
Yeah, as long as you're keeping up on responsibilities.
Yeah, if you were like
and procrastinating stuff like that,
on your bills or stuff like that,
Yeah, that can get bad real quick.
Yeah. And that's the hardest thing. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, it's okay. But it's kind of like whenever Joe off the street, Joe or whoever finds out that I play World of Warcraft, and they're like, "Oh, that game." I was like, "Yeah, I play the game, but also, I'm also invested in my life. I have bills, I have a car, I have a job. I do have a life outside of the game. I just really like it. I still have my responsibilities and I take care of them.
Yes,
but I really, really like to play WoW. So, it's like I like it, but I like it, but to a point, that where if I have to go to work, I'll log out and go to work, you know,
You won't
kind
like
of,
it, but you'll
I
go
won't
do
like
it.
it. Exactly. Yeah. It's like my parents used to tell me, oh gosh, how'd it go? You got to do what you have to do to be able to do what you want to do.
That's such a good point.
Yeah. And so that's kind of sticks with me. It's like, yeah, I do have to go to work. Got to go do that so I can play.
It's so true. This morning the servers were down, and so I said, okay, well, it's supposed to snow tonight. I don't want to get up in the morning to go into the grocery store like I normally do on a Sunday morning. So I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to do the stuff around. And I did a couple of chores around the house, made sure things were kind of tidied up, thrown away. The house really needs to be clean, but I didn't really care because this is like Warcraft's coming back out. That's what I had to justify it and say, okay, the cat boxes are not overflowing, the garbage doesn't smell, our clothes are clean. I think we're okay. So
yeah, you kind of had to override it.
It was good. It was good. So I laugh because the procrastination, everybody does it, but to what level? So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really curious to hear what the audience has to say about the differences between us and what they related to, and if there's extreme cases of procrastination that cause problems. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to pay for World of Warcraft too long if you didn't do your stuff to get there. So
yeah, and especially he's got the responsibilities, family, and a full-time job. You still put things off. I still put things off, but sometimes I don't really know in what ways to help other than just sit down and really be honest with yourself. Even type it out.
Yeah.
Like, dude, understand that you've got to get this, and that done. Remember, you've got this. You've got to think about that. Plan ahead if you can. Like, just find a grid of time. Like, if there's things that you need to get done, try and plot out and schedule yourself some stuff. Like put it in your phone calendar to schedule it, and try to be diligent. If nothing else, get your family to help.
Yeah.
And be like, babe, remind me tomorrow that I need to do this or that or this, and try and lean on some other people to help you, because I know I have trouble with it. And I've had to ask people, hey, tomorrow, call me and make sure I'm doing this. And if I'm not, tell me to do this so that I at least remember, because sometimes I forget. Sometimes I really want to play WoW and I forget about, cleaning the cat box or something, just something, anything. And I just forget. And so it's
true.
And for having other people to help and lean on me for this, or some people to lean on for it, that can help. So that's one step I would suggest for Muzzy, is to try and sit down and just, 'cause sometimes, you can just sit and talk to yourself like, bro or gal, sis, everybody, you need to get this, you need to get your stuff together.
Yo, get your stuff together.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad when you talk to yourself. It's only bad when you talk back. No, I'm kidding.
Well, shit.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Those
All
morning
of the
conversations
voices.
I have with myself might be a problem. So.
Oh, trust me, I've had a few conversations like that with myself. But yeah, that would be one thing I would, a couple things for Muzzy to think about, as far as, maybe blocking off some time to work on the things that they need to work on.
Well, and it can't be that bad if you're still married. If you still have a family, then it can't be that bad, because if you've procrastinated so much that your family doesn't want to be around you anymore, that's another whole different problem. But I do think, for me, I know it's definitely something. It's a part of the partnership where, both Kane and I have things that we procrastinate on, and sometimes it's a reminder to the other person to say, you said you were gonna blah, so you're gonna do this, but
the lawn's not gonna mow itself.
Exactly, and so it just it's just part of that. It's part of the deal. We all do it. I don't know, unless you're made of bionic material, if you are not somebody who procrastinates. So.
Yeah.
So if you want to send us questions, requests for advice, you can do so by sending them to questions@taurentthinktank.com. Thank you, Muzzy, for this really fun discussion about procrastination. It's one we've never done before on the show.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And I love the fact that Marcona and I are different in these ways, because it gives us a chance to learn from each other, and kind of learn what our neuroses are too, because we both have them.
Yep.
So with that, we're going to do a little Tell Us One Thing.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Want to read the first one?
That's the Allons-y, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. Hey, Jules and Mark. I'm Allons-y/Bonera from Magtheridon, EU. I come from a little awesome island called Malta.
Yay.
I love listening to your show when I'm at work, and I particularly like it when Mark does the voices and accents. You should really go for voice acting. I'm trying. So my question, staying on topic, in a parallel universe where you were both...
It's like
Sorry, let me try that again.
Right there.
Ooh. In a parallel universe where both of you were born in the EU and not in the US, which country would you be born in? And can you do their accent?
Oh, boy.
Where would you like to be born in the EU?
England. I really, honestly, I thought my whole life, I thought I was born in the wrong country and I should have been born in England.
Mm-hmm.
And so I which is weird because I'm not really like, I don't watch a lot of British TV or anything like that. I just absolutely love the accent.
Mm-hmm.
Love it, love it, love it. So someday I'll go. But I'd love to go and hang out in London and just see all the different parts of Great Britain and just, it would be so cool. So yeah, I would definitely be from England and I would be very British.
You'll be very British.
Very, it would be either the proper British or it would be a little more Cockney.
There you go, love.
No worry, loves. Cavalry's here.
Exactly. You'd be like Tracer. You want to always use more arrows. Oh man,
I tried to do the Cockney accent and it didn't go so well. So I was just like, I'll just try and make up one. But Malta, man, that sounds cool. What about you? Where do you think you would be born in?
Oh man, let's see. I'm kind of like you. I did watch a little bit of British television growing up, but it was limited to the stuff that was either on HBO or PBS. So it was a little bit of Monty Python, and it was Mr. Bean and Are You Being Served on PBS. I would watch that almost every night, and it was so fun to really pick up the accents and stuff. So I mean, I would say England, but also I would go up to either Scotland. I'd love to have a Scottish accent. I really want to work on one. Because I love the Scottish accent. Just cool. Oh man,
that's cool.
Scottish accent. I would love.
Oh, awesome. Okay, awesome. From Terrelin, when leveling or exploring new content, do you prefer to solo or run with a group?
Ooh. I like to solo. Especially on the new content, because a lot of people, especially with the way that the Warlords rollout has gone, there's a lot of people very far ahead or very far behind me, and the leveling is it feels linear in the expansion, but that's because I've only just now finished Shadow Moon Valley, but I really, this time, since there was no rush to 100, I really wanted to dig in and enjoy the content and the quests. I sit there and read the quest text for once.
Yeah.
And so I'm really enjoying it, and I'm just really I usually I'll listen to Spotify or Pandora or something, and I won't listen to the in-game music. Sorry, Russell Brower, but so now I promised him that I would listen to the music on this one, and it's so good. The music,
amazing.
Oh man, I actually fell asleep a couple times last night in my chair listening to the music near Karabor, because it's just rich, all these big major chords and just a lot of it's kind of like Pure Moods, those old Pure Mood CDs, it's just I did fall asleep and actually woke up because I almost like leaned over onto the keyboard. I was like, I'm still logged in. Okay, I'll keep playing.
Okay.
But, I'm just going to soak in the content and take it at my own pace. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a solo runner all the way. Because I really, and this expansion has really rewarded the solo play, because you feel like a hero in this expansion. Yeah. You feel so important and so much part of the story. I can't say enough about it. I am just beyond how excited I am and how epic it feels, how strong I feel, and it's what's so cool. I always like to level in my resto spec, and I can run around on my druid. I can be in resto, but in cat form, and I can kill stuff in this expansion. It's not like, oh my god, it's going to take me an hour to kill that mob. I feel powerful, and it may be my gear. I mean, I have some mythic gear on that character, but honestly, they have done it all right for me. I'm so excited, and I just love it. When they call you commander, and everything is like when they say hero and help you, and you feel like you're just part of this. I'm like, I love this so much. So
I mean, you got to think how many things we've killed. Like we've defeated Illidan, we've destroyed the Lich King, we've killed the aspect of the earth, and we defeated all of the 7 Shah and overthrew Garrosh Hellscream. Of course they want to, we should be important by this point, and for them to really reward it, especially with the garrisons and like really hammering it home that it's like, you guys are the top, you're the elite of all of our forces, and we're trusting you with all this stuff. It's just like you said, it's very empowering. It's very like rewarding to say, I am special, thank you.
It just reminded me of something that cracked me up yesterday. So I'm running around, and I mistakenly gotten anywhere near. So there was a trade chat channel, and there was some guy with a really vulgar name. It was like, it wasn't this, but it was like Butt Munch or something like that. And he's like, they're calling me Commander. I'm sitting there going, oh, how heroic do you feel, Commander Butt Munch?
We have entrusted you with the garrison, Commander Butchmunch. You know we will lead you into victory.
Oh, man.
So, of course, there's my brain going, oh, everybody's getting that treatment, including Commander Buttmunch.
Greetings, Commander Buttmunch.
Oh, that's great. All right, read the next one.
All right, from Dark Side. Did you notice Marcone and WoW had this sneaky grin working in all his BlizzCon picks? One might even say diabolical.
You look like a kid on Christmas morning.
I know. That's how I felt. I was like grinning and just,
You have that like mischievous little kid grin. That picture that I took of us sitting next to each other at the opening ceremonies where you're sitting next to Kane and Ashanka. And
oh, that's right.
That picture, you look like you are so you've just like, I just got some candy.
You have to send me that one because I remember you showing it to me. Oh man,
it's the best picture ever. You look like a giddy little kid who's got something. He's got something up his sleeve. So it's really.
I got
so
he's
totally right. You look diabolical.
Yeah. Yes, just a little bit.
All of a sudden, you use Commander Buttmunch's voice.
Well, that's the Draenei talking to Commander Buttmunch. That's Murad. That's Murad talking to Commander Buttmunch.
Draven Dresden in the chat room just said, you guys do know that Commander in Draenish actually means Buttmunch, so you're actually calling him Buttmunch.
So I am Buttmunch Marconin? Murad! What is this about?
I'm sorry, Commander. I mean, Buttmunch. I mean, Commander.
Oh my god, this hurts. Okay. From Anne Marie 26. Do you think we should have tipped the Hilton Bar cleanup crew more? Yes. I mean, God.
Yes.
Did you see what got left? My God.
Oh.
If you've ever been to BlizzCon, you know this, but the Hilton is one of the hotels that's on the property of the convention center. And, it's the Hilton and the Marriott. And the Hilton has a much bigger gathering space, and that is where everybody comes to hang out after the BlizzCon festivities are over. And so it's really, really busy, and there are just people everywhere, and the bathrooms are awful, and it's just like,
oh man,
can't imagine. And I heard this story that Scott Johnson told on the morning stream. He had gotten up to leave BlizzCon at 4:00 in the morning on Sunday morning, and he had to use the restroom downstairs in the lobby. The way he described what happened in that men's room,
oh man,
that is seriously bad. Like,
I didn't make it in there this year. Like I didn't need to go there this year, but man, Last year was rough. I can only imagine what it'd be this year.
Yeah, and I don't know. It seemed like people were a little bit more rowdy this year, so
Yeah,
I
it
can't
feels
even
that way.
imagine. I can't imagine. So yes, those people deserve a whole lot more than they get paid because holy crap, that's gross.
Yes.
It's gross.
I just want to pat him on the shoulder and say, I am so sorry.
I didn't do it.
It wasn't me, but I am sorry.
Please be sorry for the no. Not cool. All right, so let's do the next one.
All right. This one's from Muzzy_AIE. How do I defeat the login Q boss? He puts me to sleep every time.
Oh man, he's got a tough debuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't unless you go and you make sure that you're potting some coffee beforehand, making sure that you've got some loud music playing in the background. Keep yourself up. Maybe do some jumping jacks.
Yeah. And make sure to multitask like I was doing. I was playing Hearthstone on the side, just kept alt tabbing between matches just to make sure the queue hadn't popped up and I got in. Go play some Diablo or some StarCraft, or I can pull out some phone games. I was playing games on my phone while I was waiting.
I was playing with the cats. Garrus kept bringing his toy over, so I just kept bringing the toy and be like, flying toy, so that works. Play with your cats. Keeps you
yes. Keeps them happy and keeps you entertained.
From Lita, wow, what are your plans for the Warlords release? And then what actually happened? So what was your plan for the Warlords release and what actually happened?
Well, initially I wasn't going to be working Thursday night or Wednesday night / Thursday morning.
Yeah.
So I was planning on being around, but then again, I wasn't able to pre-order the game. So I did the collector's edition off of Amazon. And it didn't get delivered until about 4:00 on Thursday, so I wouldn't have been able to play anyway.
Yeah.
But I was planning on not working that day and really just kind of getting ready for it, and then just blitzing all night and playing. And then work happened, and then I didn't get home till 6:00 at night on Thursday, and then the login boss got me for a good long while. So yeah, that's. What about you?
Well, Thursday, I wasn't even going to be planning to play because we were going to record I Remembered It Better. However, Cliff's little baby boy, Jonah, he had to hold him during we were going to record. And unfortunately, he wound up not settling down at all. So we just didn't record the show because the baby was just screaming. So I said, okay, well then I'll go downstairs. And I had been logged into the queue beforehand and I saw that it was going to be like an hour. And so I jumped out of it and Kane's like, well, you should just stay in and I'll keep you online. I'm like, it's all right. I mean, I record for like 2 hours. I don't want to stay online for 2 hours and not do anything. Well, I wished I had, listened to him because then I went downstairs and it was like a 2-hour queue to get in, and then it was just trying to get logged in and all. And then last night, it took me 3.5 hours to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, I wound up watching like an episode of America's Next Top Model.
There you go.
Yeah, I wound up breaking down some boxes in the kitchen, and I was like, okay, well, we'll just do some stuff around here. I watched some stuff on the virtual ticket, and so that's what I did until we got in, and then because I took a nap when I got home yesterday, I could stay up until about midnight, which was nice. So I played for maybe 2 hours after I got in, and I just had a blast. And I'm like, I don't want to go to bed, but I got to go to bed. So it was great. And then I was like, oh, I love this. So this morning, I was in right when the queues came back up, and I was on for a good long time. So it was great.
Yeah. I've got to stay up all night tonight to get switched back over to third shift for next week.
Right.
So I will hopefully get to explore Gorgrond when we get done with this.
Nice.
We'll see.
Yay!
All right, let's see. From Mementh, Blizz just announced we will have a commander's room in Garrisons / it's a future patch. What personal mementos of your main character are displayed there? And bonus, what was left on Azeroth that they wish they could show off?
Ooh, okay. So
it's kind of like a trophy room, I'm guessing?
I guess so. Okay. So trophy room, gosh. Now, there are things that I wish that I could merge between the characters that I have. There's one thing I have on my Paladin, which I can't get on anything else. And that is, it's the Arakoa transformation that like it's something that dropped in something in Burning Crusade. I have it on my
yeah.
Paladin. You know what this is? It's like
Yeah.
it's got like an hour cooldown, but you can turn yourself into an Arakoa.
Mm-hmm.
I want that.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a toy, so I can't make everybody have it. So I'm like, oh. And then the other one is the one that the Wolvar transformation. You get the
Children's Week.
Yeah, and then when you get the potion and you can or no, it's the reputation thing.
That's right. Yeah.
It was the reputation potion that you can get to turn yourself, and it was like a random thing that you picked up, and you could turn yourself into a Wolvar. So I would love to have like those things on the shelf in there, but it's on a different character. What else? Probably some of my favorite staves from. Oh, they did make that into a toy. Draven Dresden just said they made the Arakoa thing in a toy. I have to check it out. Ooh.
Yes.
Anyway, distraction. I would probably get some of my cool druid staves and put them on display. I've got some really cool ones from different raid tiers that I've really loved. I don't know about armor. It's always the staves that make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's what I would put on display. How about you?
I'm kind of the same way, pretty much with the staffs. I would get the staff from that drops off of Lich King, because the only time I killed him was right before Cataclysm, and it was all of my friends in the real world that it was one of my greatest favorite moments of WoW was killing the Lich King with all my friends, and the staff dropped. Oh. I didn't need it because we were hitting Cataclysm in 2 weeks, but I still took it, and so I have it. I've looted the heroic version of it, but I still have the regular one because that means a lot. Because it was my only time killing him at level, and so I would definitely have that up on the wall along with my forgive me, Thunder Fury Blessed Blade of the Wooden Sinker. I have it, so it's going on the wall.
You totally just link that in a podcast.
Oh no. Yeah, it would be the weapons, the ones that really showed off an accomplishment, like Dragon Wrath. I've got Terragosa's Rest, and I would definitely have that on the wall as well. Yeah, maybe my Scarlet Crusade tabard, since you can't get that anymore. Then I would probably hang that up on a rack somewhere, have it kind of mounted on the wall.
Nice, I like those. That's good.
But I would do that. And what was left on Azeroth that they wish you could show off? I don't really know. I think that kind of covers it.
I think so too. I'm not quite sure if there's anything more.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just leave it be. From Disney Girl 85, how do you tackle new expansions? Do you rush to level cap, or did you take your time?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it already. Normally, I rush.
Yeah.
I rush all the way there. And yes, Bim, I did say Thunder Fury Blessed Blade of the Windseeker.
Totally.
But yeah,
linked into the podcast.
I did. Oh no. That'll be like, we can make that the name of the episode too. Make it even better. But the new expansions like this one, like I said earlier, I'm taking my time. I'm anxious. I'm very anxious to get to 100. I really want those digits by my name, but I really want to enjoy the story because it took me so long to really absorb all of Pandaria, and that's my favorite expansion so far. And I really need to just soak in the story and just really absorb all I can, because I'm, especially after meeting the voice actors for all of the key characters in Warlords. I mean, I met Khadgar, met Gromash, Durotan, Yrel, and Murad, and of course Garrosh again. Patrick Seitz was there again, and we had a good funny thing. I told him, "Thank you for making it so easy to hate your character. Thank you for being so convincingly evil, and just can almost respect a man that is so steadfast in his beliefs, however the wrong they are." But anyway, it made me so jazzed to experience, and for all the voice actors were passionate about their characters, especially the lady who does Yrel. She was so just energizing about her character. She's like, I can't wait for you guys to see where this character goes. I had such fun with it. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to hearing back from what all you guys think. And I talked with her about it. So it makes me really ready to just sit there and enjoy the whole expansion. And so far, so good. I love Shadow Moon Valley. I didn't know how I would, because it's like, it kind of reminds me of the old Draenor starting zone, kind of same color palette, kind of meh. Well, it's better than than Azure Mist. I love it. So
I
good.
agree. Oh gosh. So I'm like you. I normally try to gun it as fast as I can. I've never been someone who has enjoyed leveling. And the way they have done this, the way that they have set up the garrisons, the way they have done the questing, where you kind of just discover stuff. You never know what you're going to see when you turn a corner. Like I got the lumber mill on my garrison, which means that you can go out and you can find lumber on certain trees, and you can send a peon out there, and he goes ready to work. And he starts and then he does his thing, and he moves on. So I was running around earlier, and there was this big log, and it was something that lit up on my screen as something that I could do for lumber mill. So I run over to it, and I tell the peon to come take care of the lumber, and he comes out, and it turns out that there's a guy underneath it. And he comes out and he goes, "Oh, thanks for saving me." And then he gives me a quest, and he becomes one of my followers for my garrison.
Oh, awesome.
These are the things that I am just in love with, and I'm not staring at my XP bar at all.
Me either.
I've never had this. I've never been in a case where I'm like, "Oh, come on, just one more bubble," or "I don't care," or I just want to see what comes to me on the next turn. I love the story. The garrisons are freaking awesome. I just want to, it's like, "Oh, I've got something more to do with my garrison. Bye-bye." And so I go and I run and I go back to do that. I don't know what it is. They've just found the magic formula to make questing fun. And I don't care how long it's going to take me to do it. I just want to see what they've got for me next.
Yeah, it's fun. It's finally hitting home that it's about the journey, not the destination. Like the destination's level 100 in rating, but the journey is so much more enjoyable this time around.
Yes,
I love it.
That's a great way to put it. And I've never had this experience in WoW. I truly mean this. So far, this is my favorite expansion. So it is, and I've been through every single one of them. So I just don't. I don't know what they did. I can't put my finger on it. But it is beyond my expectations, and I am loving every second of it. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get through some of the rest of them here.
Okay, is this one mine?
Yes.
Yeah. This is from Southard Samuel. Blizzard asks you to make cards of yourself for GVG, which is Goblins versus Gnomes. Yeah! Don't worry about balance. But what would your card stats be? And I know you've got a few examples to pull from. I do, Jules.
Well, I can use what you give. So I'll read you some of the ones that Marconin made me, because I think these are very, very applicable. These are mine. So my one card for Julana, she has 5 attack and 7 health with a 7 mana, and it just says survive. That's one. I think that came from a podcast. It just said survive.
Yeah, I asked you what you wanted your card to be, and that's what you told me.
Yes, to survive.
Yeah.
The next one is the same stat: 7 mana, 5 attack, 7 health, and the battle cry on this one is to summon 3 2/2 health cats. And I was like, yeah. And so of course I think that would be perfect. And then the final one is my Julaxis card. You face Julaxis, and the battle cry is you face Julaxis at your opponent, which is awesome. So I think I would definitely just have to be the one that you summon. You summon 3 cats, and these 3 cats, one of them has a taunt on them, and it's probably Spike.
Spike would have the taunt.
Spike would have the taunt.
Garrus would have divine shield.
Yes, and Sassy would be. She would be the one that would sacrifice herself on your sword because she's dumb.
I say give her Wind Fury so she can.
She's just dumb.
Twice as much.
What about you?
Well, hey, Southern has a good suggestion. Make Jules bot a mech.
Oh gosh!
Since they're mechs. Oh yeah, this I may have to do one for Jules bot now.
Okay.
Now that we have mechs in the game. Yes.
That'd be awesome.
And I had thought about making a card for myself to have down there, but I was busy working on all the other ones, so I didn't want to worry about making mine. But I think mine would be something along the lines of your cat one, but it would be mounts, either that or like it would kind of work like how the Lord Jirax's card works in the game, where it would replace my hero, it would replace Jaina, since it'd be a mage card. It would place Jaina with myself on a random mount. So it'd be like the Time Lost Proto Drake, and the Time Lost Proto Drake would have a different hero power that would undo a certain action, or it would be something with time travel, just a slight little bit. And then there'd be like there'd be a Mechano Strider that would have Wind Fury on it or something. You could attack twice, or it would have like it's just kind of an idea. Just have a couple of mounts. I mean, or either that or summon mounts like your summons cats.
Nice.
Just have a couple mounts on the ground, something like that.
And that mount could cause you to dodge an attack or something like that.
True. Yes, you could fly around it or move past it.
That'd be cool.
I like that idea.
That's cool.
We need mounts in Hearthstone.
Exactly.
Do it.
Oh, from MacGyver, if you could have changed anything about this year's BlizzCon, what would it have been?
Make it twice as long.
Give us one more day of content on BlizzCon.
Yes.
Let us see. I wanted to play Overwatch about 50 more times. It really did. So
if I played it 50 more times, I would probably have enjoyed myself, because at one time I went through, I hated it.
You didn't like it?
I'm not good at first-person shooters. And then on top of that, somebody on the other team is either amazing at first-person shooters, or they'd been there all weekend, because they racked up like 30 kills. I was dead and waiting for the respawn timer more than I was alive during that match. Like I tried different heroes, tried different things, everything, and I came away just mad because I couldn't find the fun in it. I was just being killed left and right, no matter who I picked, a defense, offense, support, anybody. I tried moving away, but they had me at every turn. And that's why I don't like first person shooters, because I don't live that game. It's kind of like me trying to go up against somebody in Blood Legion and out DPS them. I can't do it because they are that much ahead of me, but we don't directly compete against each other. He's not attacking me. So therefore it's not that big of an issue for me. But when somebody is that good at first person shooters against me, that's why I don't PvP much, because I'm not that good at it.
Yeah. No,
and it just ruined it for me. And I let them know in the feedback. I was like, first person shooters aren't my game, so you can take this with a grain of salt, but I think this and this and this and that. I wasn't overly negative, but it made me upset, because I was like, I want to love this game.
Yeah.
I want to love everything you do, but I don't like first person shooters. So I just need to spend some more time, like maybe go buy a Call of Duty and work on that or something. But I do want to play it. But
I think what makes that game so much fun is when you are with people who who are playing with you, and people who know what they're doing. So I had Kalani with us, with Kane and I, the second time we went through, and Kalani is very good at first-person shooters, and so we wound up teaming together and caused a combination that we were very lethal, and it was a blast. And I think that game, I saw something actually on Twitter. Greg Street, formerly Ghostcrawler, posted out there, said one of the things that's challenging game developers is that people want developers to create games that they can play with their friends, but then a common complaint is that their friends are never available to play with them when they want to play. So it's a combination of difficulty. That game, Overwatch, would not be as fun to me if I were just going into a random queue to play with an anonymous group. And there's a lot of games now that are like that, where you go in and you jump in and play. And so for a while, they were actually not letting people go in as a group to play Overwatch, and I think that was a major mistake. They were trying to move the queues faster, but the game itself that was designed to play with your friends. That's what Chris Metzen actually said. So I don't know. I think that's what I would have changed, is the opportunity to play the first day with people that because I think it would have changed it for you.
Mm-hmm. Like I'll definitely try and play it with guildies and stuff whenever it does come out. But it really is a good team.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with Heroes of the Storm too. Heroes of the Storm is a lot more fun when you play with people who you can coordinate with on Skype or on Mumble or something like that. So
definitely.
And our last one of the night from Amanda B. How do you deal with the post-BlizzCon blues and go back to your normal life? I'm in a very bad depression. I think we kind of covered this earlier. It's just it's realizing that BlizzCon is an unrealistic scenario of life That's awesome. And so our expectations of that are beyond. And so you're like, life can't be like that all the time, where we'd have no money and we wouldn't be able, I couldn't live in the Hilton for that many days. I wouldn't be able to afford it. I barely afforded it now. But
I mean, think of all the alcohol poisoning too.
God, I know. So I think it's just it's coming to terms with the fact that you had something extremely rare and special to do the time of your life, that kind of thing where you don't have any responsibilities. It's all fun. It's nothing else that you have to do or are being asked to do. And so, then you have to go back to the life where you do have to earn a living and have responsibilities. And, those things are just that much more crushing. And I understand the depression. I feel like, but you have to kind of come to terms with the fact that it is something that is very, very special. I remember when, like when you're young, so I was raised Jewish when I was younger. And so I had every girl or boy, when you turn 12 or 13, you have your bar or bat mitzvah, which is a big, big deal. It's a big party for you. It's your coming of age thing in your religion. And it is like you're the center of attention. All your family and friends are there. And it's this big, big deal. It's like the size of a wedding in the way that they do it out there and where I live. I remember that feeling of being absolutely just like devastated days after it was over, because it was like, well, now it's over and I'll never have that again. And it's this feeling of being so special and being so happy, and then you can't have it anymore. And it's like, well, that's not fair. Why is that so unfair? So I don't know. You were going to say something. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that I don't know where it's from, but the whole don't cry that it's over, smile that it happened.
Yes.
I forget where that's from, but also smile that it's coming around again.
That you get the opportunity to do
you
it
get
again.
the chance to do it again if you can. They'll have another one, and because we've made so many good connections. Like I know Jules, we were talking about we're going to need to do something for when the Warcraft movie comes out. Like,
Yes.
I don't want to just be sitting there in the theater by myself, when it comes out. I want friends around me so we can sit there and cheer and laugh and cry and all that, and just oogle at a whole spectacle of it, being that we're from the world, from Azeroth. That's our place. Those are our races in there. And, now that you've got all these extra people, because I know Amanda. And I love her a lot. She's a great gal.
Yeah.
And there's a chance I may get to work where she lives next year. And so I'll definitely be hanging out with her more.
Yeah.
So you get a little bits of BlizzCon here or there. Like I met Bimini 2 weeks before BlizzCon.
Yes.
And so I already knew her when I was there. And so there's a chance I'll see her again someday. And Rayanne, I've known her for years. I'll get to see her next month. So you get these little mini BlizzCons whenever you get the chance to see anybody, because you're going to get that little moment of, there you are, I see you again, like the next chance I see anybody that I've met at BlizzCon, you get that. And so just try not to focus on the fact that it's over and you're back in your real world. It's something I needed to work on earlier this week. But just remember that we are, that place can come around again. If the conditions are right or you're close to those people, you still get to have those people. You just don't get them all in the same place at the same time until the next go around.
Yeah, I agree. And, like we talked about, you and I literally said to each other, like right after we saw the Warcraft movie preview, we were like, we have to do something.
Oh, my goodness.
When
yes.
this movie comes out, in 2016. But we have to, in 2 years, we're already planning to do some kind of event so that we can make sure that we're around our friends when we see this, because we wouldn't want to go see it without our friends. It's
Exactly.
that special. And these are the things that we do. And so, BlizzCon will happen again. If it doesn't happen again, I will guarantee you there will be meetups happening. Absolutely. If they're in place of it, there's no way it wouldn't. So, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still
Okay,
here.
sorry. I thought
Yeah.
it sounded like a cut.
Oh no, I'm still here.
Good. So that is our Tell Us One Thing for this week. Thank you guys so much for your contributions. Again, send them to Twitter at Tauren Think Tank. I asked for them on Thursdays, but you can send them early. You can send them over to the email at questions@taurenThinkTank.com if you want more than 140 characters to send it. You can also do it on our Facebook page. I asked for them there too. And that's facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. Okay, so I have an update and some feedback, so we'll do the feedback.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring you... Wow, that's a lot of feedback.
And actually, the update is our feedback of the week because we were at BlizzCon last week and we didn't get any. So we got lots of feedback in person, but in terms of written, here is what we've gotten. Hey, Jules, Marconin, and the Moo Crew. This is Dustin, and I was wanting to message you to give you an update on how my life is going. First off, I wanted to say that I'm so glad that you decided to keep on going with the podcast. And Rem will be missed by me, but I'm so happy that Marconin will be with us on this. I agree. When I first wrote in and I talked about all the bad things that happened to me in my life, I didn't think that anything good would ever happen to me, and I was starting to give up. Then you guys gave me the best advice that I could have asked for. It wasn't what I wanted to hear, but it was what I needed to hear. And for that, I want to say thank you in all capital letters. Since the last time I gave you an update, I told you that I had found a job working at Little Caesars and had become the assistant manager, and that I was going to be setting more goals for myself to try to set a place of my own, to get a place of my own, and to get a car. Well, I still work at Little Caesars at a different location, but not as an assistant manager. I was given a promotion to co-manager for the store. Now I'm working on becoming the store manager, and I want to meet that goal before the end of 2015. On top of that, I have bought me a car and have moved out of my mom's house and got me an apartment. As well, the first time I wrote in, I said that I was feeling alone and I was afraid that I would never meet anyone and that I would be alone for the rest of my life. But I was wrong, because I've met someone, or I found someone, and I should say she found me, and has become my best friend and the best thing that has ever happened. She has helped and encouraged me to work towards my goals and has been there for me when I needed someone. I just wanted to say that I give you all the credit for everything that has happened to me. You gave me the advice that I needed to hear and helped me become the man that I am becoming today. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your life to help someone like me. To the Moo Crew, don't ever give up, even if things look like it will never get better, because it will. Just have patience and work hard and things will get better. It might not happen right away, but it will happen when you need it the most. Thanks again for everything you have done for me and everyone else, from Dustin. Oh, that's such a great letter. I do have to disagree with you on one thing, though.
Yeah.
You can't give us all the credit for that.
That's all you, buddy. It's all you.
You can't. I mean, come on now. All we did in this podcast is we took what you said and we saw that there is a lot of potential and gave you the opportunity to push towards that potential. That's it.
Yeah.
And I know, I understand that sometimes you just need somebody outside to tell you it's okay to go after what you believe in or to not give up, and something that it's a good feeling and it helps. But we didn't push you. We didn't get behind you to say, I want to make these goals for myself. You made those goals.
Yep.
You didn't. We weren't there to whisper in your ear to say, become an assistant store manager, a co-manager of the store, get an apartment and a girlfriend, somebody to love you. We didn't do that. You did that. And
yep.
Honestly, when you said on your letter that she found you, I believe this to be true. Is when we're out there looking for someone, actively looking for someone, we'll never find them. Because you're putting out the wrong energy, and it doesn't attract somebody who finds you attractive. When you're not looking for somebody, when you're going out there and you're confident in who you are and what you're accomplishing, that's when you become the most attractive. And so when you say she found you, I'm not surprised, because you've worked really hard to become so much more than you started from. And that is something that is very appealing. And so good on you. And all good things come to those who work hard and try and keep trying when things don't go right. So, so glad for you. So happy.
Absolutely. I feel the same way Jules does about that.
Yeah, I can't say it enough. We didn't do this for you. You did this for yourself.
Yeah, you did it. I'm very happy that we could give you the advice and give you the little bit of mental push and encouragement that you needed, but that was all you, man. And we are thankful for you for doing that. We're happy that you did that.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that we could be an encouragement for you. And I look forward to seeing where else you take this, because good on you, man. Good
I love
on
his
you.
updates. I mean, this has been like the best story because things just keep happening because he's working hard, and he is proof that, not giving up and just throwing in the towel and, keeping on with your goals and keep on setting those goals will get you there. I mean, I know how that feels. I know how it feels to get knocked down and pushed off your feet and not feel like you can do anything. And just like, I can't stay like that for long because I know that that's not me. I don't fall down long. It's just a matter of just how long is it going to take me to find my footing again and get back up and be better than ever. It's what happened with this show. I mean, I got knocked off my feet pretty bad and didn't expect what happened to happen. But I can honestly say it has been an amazing experience to go through that and come out the other side and sit there and I just have to say this too. I mean, I have never gone to a con or an event or any kind of meetup and had my partner be there with me for this show. And I had that amazing experience at BlizzCon to have Mark Honan with me. And it was one of the most special things for me to be there and to know that when people came up to me to say, I love Tauren Think Tank, that I could turn and say, have you seen Mark Honan? They're like, oh, he's here? And I say, yes. And I turn and there he is right there. And that was so special to me and amazing. I was so glad to have that. So thank you to everybody who has told us that they're so glad the show has stayed on. I certainly couldn't be happier. So, and
I'm kind of happy about it too, personally.
I think you might be.
Oh boy, just a little bit now, Jules. You just went down in there. If you found Bubba's voice, so good to hear you adopt my mannerisms. Thank you.
Bubba, I missed you too.
Oh, I missed you lots.
I missed you more. So that is it for our feedback of the night, and we'll get into a little bit of the slash moo. You want to start them off?
Yes, from Anne-Marie26 /moo to Darren Williams of At Warcraft. I think of you every time I hit my favorite mountain button.
Oh,
and
that's
yes,
cool.
I love the favorite mountain button. It was such a welcome addition. Yes. Love it. Love
Me
it.
too. I love it. You can set all your favorite mounts and then make it flip around between them. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Quick disclaimer, guys. A lot of people sent in their feedback /moos about Warcraft and the developers. I thought about compiling them into one, and I decided not to. So there's going to be a lot of repetition here, but I think everybody has their own message that they want to give, and they all deserve their due. So there you go. From Terrelyn. /moo to all the podcasts out there that gave us a floor view of BlizzCon for those of us that couldn't go.
Yep. From 2020 site /moo to everyone I met at BlizzCon last week. You all are the loves of my life. /moo also to everyone who sent me messages of support when I needed it earlier this week. There's not enough room here to say how much it helped.
Aw, that's awesome. From Torme /moo to all those that for whatever reason couldn't be in Draenor.
Yep. From Memmonth /moo for Zeph AIE's girlfriend Jessie, who has helped Zeph out of a lot over the last few weeks. Sorry, my voice failed. Voice went, God, it just left.
Oh, that one should be in there. From Will Seiler /moo to Blizzard for dealing with the waves of players and DDoSs, and to the CMs on the front lines of player ire.
Indeed. From Deekshan.
Yay, you got it right.
I got it right this
Yay!
time. Yes. From Deekshan, I'll say it again. And an even bigger /moo to the Blizzard CMs for all the hate they have had to absorb over the last few days. Yeah, they are right on the front lines.
Oh, Deekshan had another one. A big /moo to the WoW dev IT team for all they're doing to try to fix the game we all love.
Mm-hmm. From I guess CoxD528/moo to all the Blizz support staff for getting blown up on the forums.
From Fate,
I haven't even gone.
I
I'm
know
not
you
even
don't want to
going.
go.
No way. No
From
way.
Fate 3000/moo to all the Blizz CMs, engineers, and admins for all the hard work they've put in to try to fix launch issues.
I love this one, especially because I know both of them.
I know.
From Red/moo to Presto Jester for watching my queue while I clean the bathroom. Ick.
From Peter Trophus/moo to Zaxareth, the first Orc Buster to 100 who didn't sleep until ding, and /moo to Theory, Lat, and Leggy and Murder.
Nice.
Nice.
From Gizmo Zord
/moo. Gizmo. Yeah, I remember him from BlizzCon.
Yes.
/moo to everyone I had the pleasure of meeting at BlizzCon. Wonderful weekend I'll never forget. Ready for BlizzCon 2015.
I don't know why I gave him that voice, but
I don't know. He got like
There
the
you go.
Draenor voice.
I am Gizmo Zord.
From Yagavos/moo to the devs for being so hardworking at fixing our issues since release.
nice. From Millionaire/moo to the whole Blizzard team because they're working rally hard. Probably means really.
Really? Yeah.
Really. Despite people raging at them. Absolutely.
From Sixy Lol/moo to Blizz for doing everything they can to fix the server issues after the large-scale DDoS attacks from China.
And finally, from Torhammer_wow/moo to all Blizzard.
Yes, as you can see,
Amen.
there's lots of love going out to Blizzard, and I agree. They deserve it
I hope-
all, working around the clock to get it working.
Yes. I hope somebody from Blizzard listens and knows how much we do appreciate them
Yes,
for all the
well,
hard
and
work they do.
I've heard that Nathera, one of the CMs, does listen
Oh,
to
yeah,
the show
yeah.
occasionally. So, /moo to her. I got a chance to meet her and give her a big hug. So
I didn't get a chance to meet her. I'd like to meet her
She's
next
a
time.
sweetheart, and I love her. So you can send your /moos to the show on Saturdays. I ask for them in the morning before the show at Tauren Think Tank on Twitter. You can also email them to us at questions@taurenThinkTank.com. We have some iTunes reviews, some 5-star review thank yous to Zigwink429 and Agmanar. Thank you guys for leaving 5-star reviews on iTunes. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but Stitcher's online site has not been updating since September. So I don't know if there's actually going to be a place for you to do that. I don't know what's going on with their site. But
Weird.
yeah, for some reason, you just can't see rankings or anything like that since early September. So, and anyway, so you can leave a review on iTunes for us. If you try to do it on Stitcher, good luck, and let us know if it works. And that should be it. Okay, so we're wrapping it up for the night. Marconin, is there anything going on in your world that we should tell people about?
Well, I'm trying to actually think. I hadn't thought about it before.
I know, right?
Struggling to level 100.
Yes!
Zone by zone. That's the main thing, is trying to getting my gnome mage and my troll mage to 100 as soon as I can, so I can raid in CTR and AIE. And hopefully after this week I'll be on days until the beginning of the year. That's the plan.
Cheers.
So I'll be around in the evenings, hopefully. Yes. And yeah, so just doing that, and got a couple more parody song ideas to kind of throw around. So
I know, we're kind of
working
an
on
idea,
that.
so.
Yes.
We're also working on something else pretty special, and my hope is that it'll be able to be announced next week. Something really cool. Something that might help the show out a little bit. So I'm excited. Yeah, if you guys, some people asked us about t-shirts, the ones that were available at BlizzCon. I do believe that we will be putting them back up on the online store that we had before BlizzCon to help out the Smash Bash. So stay tuned for that. We'll have more information because there are some t-shirts for Triple T left for that, and they help towards the Smash Bash funding. So every little bit helps. For me, I will have hopefully another episode of I Remembered It Better on Thursday, as long as Cliff's baby decides to behave. So we shall see. I will keep you guys posted. You can follow us on Twitter for that. All right, Marconin, are you ready to bring this lovely thing home?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. That's a little low. Bring that up. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
You can find us outside of the show on our website. That's at taurenthinktank.com. And that has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us as well. There's also a donate button on the website. So if you like what we do and you'd like to support our show by sending us a donation, well, that's a really great way to do it.
Sure is. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can find us on Twitter. For the show, it's at TaurenThinkTank. You can find me, Jules, at JulesRPG and Marconin at MarconинWow. You can also chat with us and other members of the Moo Crew on our forums. Give those boards some love at forums.signalsmedia.com. Our voiceovers are done by two uber mages, Arcane and Marconin, including our intro for tonight was done by the lovely Marconin.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, guys, don't forget to get your Triple T t-shirts at slashloot.com. We got 3 designs to choose from in different shirt colors.
You can get them now or you can wait for the other ones. Up to you.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us. Thank you, chat room, for being with us alongside the show, giving us your comments and making us laugh. You can do so if you want to be a part of the live show, Saturday nights, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, twitch.tv/TaurenThinkTank. We do love seeing you here with us, and we also appreciate every download that you give us so that you can listen at work, in the car, everywhere you go. I hear a lot of people that listen to us on Mondays, so it's awesome. Yes. So, for Marconin, for Arcane, for everybody in the chat room, we thank you, and we wish you a pleasant week in Draenor. Until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
Really?
Really, Commander.
Commander Butt Munch.
Commander Butt Munch.
I really want to name the show that, but I think it's really inappropriate.
Yeah.
I don't know what to name this show. You guys got to help.
Oh, what was the
I need a title.
Can't do Thunder Fury. That's too easy.
No, that's way too easy. Are you kidding me? You can't link it in podcast and then put it in the title. It's so lame. That's so lame.
Oh man. I don't know.
I think Werewolves of Draenor, was it? Oh no, it's
Warlords
it is
of Draenor.
Warlords of Draenor. But
what about
Hot Deli? Hot Deli thing was in the pre-show though.
Yeah, the Hot Deli. What about my guild? We have wonderful ladies. Yeah, Fate. That is kind of what I kind of do base that off the battle cruiser operational, and then since I got to meet Crispin, the guy who does Marad, Commander, sign the order. That's almost a Pandaren. Yeah. I kind of mixed it. It's like a Draenei Pandaren. Holy cow! I need to split up my accents.
Oh, yeah. Commander.
Just as the light did. That day.
Commander Muncher.
Commander Munch.
Hello,
Munch.
Commander.
It could be like, hello, Commander.
Hello, Commander.
Hello, Commander.
Let's see.
I really wish I could name it Commander Butt Munch, but that would really be a bad thing to name it that.
Gosh, I don't know. This is. Yeah, Commander Thunder Fury.
Commander Thunder Fury.
Yeah,
we could call it Hot Deli, but then I may have to make sure I snip that in there.
Yeah,
which I could. It was very funny.
Going Commander. Okay, I like that one.
Oh, I think you got it, Cade.
Spot on, man. Spot on.
You win. Going Commander. I like it.
Tauren Think Tank, in which we discover the meaning of commander in Draenish. Yeah. Kane crushed the competition.
We have so many shirts we could make. Tauren Think Tank, my guild, we have wonderful ladies.
Oh, I really want to do that one. I really want to have
Think
that
Tank, my name is Commander Buttmunch.
one. Or you could even make it like a military looking shirt, have the logo on the breast, and then like underneath it in like military script where they usually have the names, put like C Buttmunch or just Buttmunch underneath it.
I like C Buttmunch.
C Buttmunch. Oh man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, I think I'm gonna tweak the Warlords of Draenor song, and I'll put it up on SoundCloud too, so that we've got the intro out there.
Yay! Kat is gonna design us some T-shirts.
There we go.
Yay! Commander Buttmunch in Draenor.
In Draenor we trust. I just thought I had a cool idea for a shirt of have Yrel and put in Yrel we trust, and have a picture of her like kind of just like with all this paladin armor and light, just lights coming off the armor
on her head.
Oh
no
yeah,
spoilers, no spoilers.
yeah, no spoilers. That'd be great.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome.
Oh.
Oh, I have made up stuff all night, and all night I'm watching the chat room going, I dung 92.
Yeah, a couple people dung while we were.
These are all things that I told you my brain combines things, and it's like I feel so bad because you totally missed it. You'll see it on the video of me going, yeah, I totally dunged. Dinged. Or Nate, I think Nate said he dinged 100, and I'm like,
oh wow,
and I was like, he's like ding 100, and I'm like, oh, congrats on your dunging. Something like that.
Congrats on your dunging.
So now we're all going to be saying we dung.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sending you so many messages every level.
Dung 54.
Dung. I'm about to dung 93. I think I'm on the way.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh, I cracked myself up at least, man. I'm glad I make you guys laugh too. Oh my god. But Commander Buttmunch killed me. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
My garrison is caked in so much dung. Nice, Ian.
Oh, there's an outhouse here for a reason.
Did you go in the outhouse and get the achievement?
Stay regular? No, not yet. I saw someone get that, and I clicked on it. I was like, what the heck is it? Oh, man. I walked by it because I walked by the outhouse, and I thought about it, but I was like, I just went. I don't have to go anytime soon. Wait until after a long run of questing out in Gorgon. I was like, uh-oh, I got to get my Hearthstone. Uh-oh, it's going to be a photo finish. Uh-oh.
Bye.
I'd love to do this quest, but I'll be right back.
Oh, that's too funny.
Oh.
That's too funny. All right. So we're going to sign off because we got started late. So now it's already late.
Yeah.
And so we'll talk to you guys next week. We'll be back on Saturday.
We will be back, and I will see you tonight in Draenor.
You will see him in Draenor, and you will actually see him next week too, because he'll be video.
Yes, I will fix this tomorrow.
Yes. I had nothing else.
Yes,
Yes.
that's all I had. I don't know
Yes.
where to go. It is, I don't know.
All right, you guys have a great night. We'll see you later. /Moo!
Moo!
Bye!